Riku, Axel, Vincent, Sir Venom.
You said goodbye to Rudolf van Richten, Vampire Hunter, and Casimir Velikov, the last of the Barovian Dusk Elves. In their possession, they had the book you found Danica Mardukov with, deep beneath the Amber Temple. Their current destination is Candlekeep. Their stated goal, to see if they can save the lost souls consumed by Count Strahd von Zarovich in Barovia and whatever befell Van Richten's family in the land of Darkon. Your time in Waterdeep this time around has been intriguing. You spoke with the Ram, Axel's old mentor, at a retirement home for adventurers and scoundrels. He gave Axel some news about an old friend, Glenn, suggesting that he return to the Desarin Valley, the place where they became separated. The Ram thought it was a long shot, but one worth tracking down. He knows that you wouldn't have been able to sleep, or he knows that he wouldn't have been able to sleep well if it had been him. The Ram also introduced you to Jesbian, an older Tabaxi woman who had been in El Terrell during the fall. She was able to give you a bit more information on Yugoloths, the overarching species of infernal beings that supposedly killed Professor Mragtar. But there are other considerations for being in Waterdeep. Namely, the wanted posters with your descriptions, and in some instances your faces. Your misadventure outside of Daggerford, which less than a 10-day away at a slow walk, and being less than 3 days at a brisk ride, has clearly been reported in the City of Splendors. The good news, beyond Riku's brother Hansel, you've yet to be recognized or deemed the culprits. The bad news, Riku's brother Hansel knows and works in Waterdeep's Griffin Cavalry, which is technically a part of the City Watch. And so you find yourselves incognito, standing outside the Elfstone Tavern, watching Rudolf van Richten and Casimir Velikov walk south along the Street of the Sword and turn left onto Waterdeep Way. Your eyes follow them until they're lost in the crowd. Maybe you'll see them in Candlekeep, maybe somewhere else on the Sword Coast. For now, however, you have a date with Destiny. What would you like to do?
Riku votes 21 Jump Street plan.
All right, you're putting this plan together though, Riku. You got
Yeah,
this
good.
that plan.
If
Figure it
you're this
out.
confident, you have Vincent's support.
It's a loaded question. Anywho, Riku he'd be well versed in what sort of identification a student would need there, right?
So it's funny. One of the you would be well versed in this because you're a bard and it's a bardic college.
Yeah.
You know, however, that for the most part, you don't need identification because your admittance is administered by the professors themselves. Therefore, you are known to each of the professors upon admittance, and it's a more intimate sort of environment and institution than, say, like a large place where maybe some of the professors and students don't know each other. So
There's
you know that it's
fewer students than I'm thinking.
Yeah, like we're talking about 100 students total, and over the maybe like 5 a year leave, or sorry, not 5 a year, maybe like 15 to 25 a year leave, and so like you might be there for anywhere from 2 to 5 years. You get to know each other pretty well. People live both like in the college itself or around it in the surrounding areas. There's weekly performances, weekly classes. You live, eat, breathe the bardic tradition.
Okay. So how about this? What about magical defenses? Do I have any sort of recollection of that? Like, we knew that when we first got there, they had that barrier preventing magic. Do they have anything, maybe not quite as strong, like up 24/7 that we know about?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to bring the map over just so you have a better view, because it feels like we're going to spend a lot of time over here.
Okay.
And you're pretty close by. You just have to walk down across the Waterdeep Way to be able to get back over to Songhaven. In general, you know that the defenses that were initially set up were created by the Blackstaff.
Yeah.
And
usually it's not quite as tense because there was just a fucking murder there.
Exactly. You suspect that people on campus are alert, but not necessarily. I don't know. They're not necessarily magically juiced up in a way that you might expect a wizard's tower or something with significantly more formidable defenses to have. You are slightly unsure of any specific magical defenses other than um, what you saw. Excuse me. Other than what you saw previously, which would have been created by the Black Staff. There might be something, but not to your knowledge. Just remind me, did you actually spend any time here?
I mean, we did like a stealth mission in and out basically, and we
Okay.
we teleported. We came through the teleportation circle. That's how we got here.
Yeah, I mean Riku as a younger lad basically, and I can't remember if you spent maybe like a little bit of time here and then went to Silvery Moon to the Bardic College there, or if you were mostly almost entirely just at Silvery Moon.
I mean, I think I got just sent away in one spot.
Gotcha. Okay.
They
So then yeah, you're
the idea
unsure.
was Nasho just wanted to get me out of town. That's why I
Understood.
joined the Bardic School. But yeah, I guess the plan, instead of doing the 21 Jump Street, as much as I enjoy that idea, it seems like it won't last very long since it's such a tight knit group of students. So I think we go with the tried and true. Any idea what that is, boys?
I have questions.
Uh,
What do we need here? What's our
We're
objective?
looking for clues about the Arcana Loth
All right.
because this is the only place we know of that it's been. So we're gonna try to look for clues like around like the murder scene, and then maybe try to listen in on some conversations and see if maybe people heard anything or
Okay.
like saw it. And then if we get a lead, maybe then we'll pursue that. But
Yeah.
but yeah, what are your other questions?
What time of day? Because if we're being nighttime versus daytime, and I don't think we can make a big ruckus.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
we're
that's
not.
why I was gonna say we're gonna go with the tried and true and just go invisible. I can make us all
Oh,
invisible, I think.
all right.
We
And
also have
then
my familiar too. Like it's usually a raven, but it can be any animal. We want to send
and
that to scout ahead places.
I mean, I don't even know if it's necessary because if we go invisible and then you do your telekinetic link or
Telepathy.
whatever, yeah, telepathy, I think that'd be perfect because then we wouldn't speak out loud and we could still communicate and no one would see us.
Yep. As long as someone's got any goggles on that gives them. As long as someone can see.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's why I was asking about the magical defenses and stuff because
All right. All right.
chances are someone might see us, but
It's funny because
it's a very small chance.
you referred to going invisible as our, what is it, tried and true method. I'm pretty sure this group's tried and true method
done
is
that.
just go in and start fighting people.
Yeah.
But we're not going to. That'd be like starting a school shooting. We're not
Water,
going to do that.
Waterdeep
Oh.
Dragon Heist style. Just what?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck?
We can sneak around invisible and if we find a place that's too like fortified, we can either like send in the familiar or I have that arcane
Yes.
eye spell too.
Yes, but you have to remember, once you do need magic, it's gonna take away your invisibility.
Oh, true.
So another thing I wanted to ask before we start this was the way invisibility works is when you have an object on you, it's also invisible. So my question is, what if I was flying my broom? Would that also be invisible?
I believe technically you would be invisible.
Oh boy, that opens up a door for me. I mean, you could already fly anyway, Sir Venom, but now I could join you if needed.
Yeah, I can't like hover though. And I'm pretty sure you can hover on the broom, which might be helpful.
Totally.
Like I can fly from point A to B, but I can't just like hover above people and like listen to a conversation.
All right.
That's I didn't even consider that, but yeah, you're
think
right.
if we're gonna do this, we're looking for something, so we're gonna need to cover more ground. But we're gonna be telepathic, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the range on that? Because I was gonna say
Or
we
as
either
some
buddy up or we
say,
split up. We split up. Either or.
telepathy.
As long as we're on the same plane of existence, we can talk to each other telepathically.
Okay, so we can split up.
There's no distance to that.
There's no distance.
How
I
long
would-
does it last?
1 hour.
Okay.
That's how long the invisibility will last as well.
I'm thinking maybe I pull up the Arcane Eye ahead of time too, just in case we need it. That way I won't like go visible when I cast it.
Do you think we could start with that? Is that the way we should play it?
Yeah, like or like cast that and then you cast invisibility, and I'll just have the Arcane Eye like follow me around. Just in
Well, I
case
mean,
need it.
I'm saying we might not even need to go through all this trouble if your eye can just find everything for us.
It
Or wait,
probably
it
can,
doesn't.
but
It doesn't
it
hear though, right? It can only see.
you can only see.
Okay, so that's a limitation there. We
Yeah.
need to be able to hear conversations in case anybody is like talking about it.
And it would be
And-
more fun to turn invisible and sneak around than just send the eye.
Yeah. So here's another question I need to refresh myself and the group. How long has it been since this has happened?
The murder of Professor
Yeah.
Bragdar. I think canonically we're talking like 3 days.
Okay.
Like I think Merrick has been held in the Blackstaff's Tower for about 3 days at this point in time.
So
You know where his like office or whatever is?
I was just gonna say there's a couple points of interest that we should probably focus on. Like you said, his office, like where he might stay, like his classroom. Also my sister's area where she would stay. We'd probably want to check that out because their Caneloth was looking for something, and it was probably something he or she had, the professor or her had. And another point of interest, the faculty lounge. We want to hear what the teachers are talking about. And then maybe like a student hangout area. Maybe hear what the students are talking about, and then just the scene itself. And maybe is there like a principal or someone in charge?
So you would actually know this, Riku, just as a bit of like your bardic lore. Professor Bragdar was the head bard.
Oh, it was him. Okay.
Yeah.
So we gotta sneak into the principal's office. Is what it sounds like.
Uh,
All right. Hey guys, it's a tall order, but crazier things have happened, right?
You like split up, go like 2 and 2.
I was gonna say buddy system is
Okay.
the way.
And then
yeah.
I was also thinking, who has high perceptions? We should probably
Oh,
separate
that
them
is
and
Sir Venom.
Yeah, my
not keep.
perception is through the roof.
So you and someone who has not as good perception, and then someone else who has good perception, and someone with less good perception. So it
I
sounds
think-
like either me and Sir Venom or me and Vincent, and the other way around. Right? Because let me see, my perception is.
All 3 of you guys have like basically the same perception.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I have
but
I'm
good
plus-
passive, I feel like.
I have a +5 to the actual skill, and then my passive's a 15.
Mine's a 17 passive
That's
and a
pretty good.
+7. And a +7 to my rolls. Like if I have to roll.
What about you, Axel?
+6.
Damn, so I'm the worst of the group. I didn't realize.
Are you not proficient? Probably not proficient in it.
I am.
Or you are? Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
Then what the
Wisdom
fuck,
is just not a
Riku?
good. Wisdom's
right.
not a good skill for me. I haven't put much into it.
And you're the one putting this
Also,
plan together.
I'm the least stealthy of the group too.
Well, I don't use wisdom for like my spells or anything, so there's no reason for me to boost it.
Just a quick thought, Sir Venom. Do you have to roll stealth checks at disadvantage because of like armor you're wearing?
I do.
Okay. So the way that works with invisibility is that it just comes out in the wash, and you just don't roll a normal stealth check.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, don't really care what the teams are because it seems like Sir Venom is just like really good at everything. So,
Except
than
stealth.
perception at least.
Yeah.
So yeah.
+3 to stealth and disadvantage. So I'm like by far the worst. The least stealthy.
Maybe we go you and Axel because Axel's the most stealthy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's how we
Sure.
pair up. Okay. I'm just going over my spells and stuff to make sure there's nothing here that would be also useful. Ooh, I have comprehend languages. How long does this last? Hour. That might be useful.
I can
Is it
Axel.
concentration.
No. It's a ritual spell as well.
Nice. I might, because I have that too. That would be a good idea. Especially since
Yep.
we're on different teams.
Yeah, if we split up. Yeah.
Axel can pick some locks if there's any
Perfect.
doors that need unlocking.
Yeah, because I can't use any sort of magic to unlock stuff, or else I'd blow my cover. And knock also makes a loud noise. So, all right. So I'm gonna say that I'll cast comprehend languages as a ritual on myself, and you're gonna do it on yourself, I assume, Sir Venom.
Yep.
Okay.
And those are not concentration?
No.
Okay.
It feels like they should be, but they're not.
Well, it's all good.
I'm reading it just to double check, and I don't see.
And we're gonna be in each other's heads, like constantly communicating. This will be good.
Yep.
Yep.
Ooh.
This is a hell of a detective agency you guys put together without Harold Alcantara.
So, can I?
Ooh,
I'm just
can we
making
go
sure I
visit
can.
the? Remind me, I want to go visit the cat.
4. Oh. Hold on. I can't cast invisibility on all of us. Can you cast invisibility, Sir Venom?
I cannot.
Oof.
Is there a reason you can't, or is it because you've used up your 5th level spell slot
Yeah,
today?
because I've used my 5th level already.
Gotcha.
Shit. Hmm. Well, that's a little
Maybe
awkward.
maybe today we scout with the arcane eye, and then come back the next day with invisibility.
Yeah.
Either that or one of us just sits it out. Like,
I think using a day, like we have time. We're not in a rush, I don't think. Yeah.
but for me, it's like that crime show, first 48 hours. We gotta get in while it's still a juicy topic and people are talking about it. The clues might be gone by tomorrow.
For real?
Yeah, that's how murders work.
I can't tell
They're
if
not-
you're just fucking with me or if
It's already been 48 hours though, so we're already outside that window.
I know.
that's
First 72.
that's
Okay.
how it works on television.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
That's how it's told in the Bard's Tales.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
So what do you? It's your thing here, Riku. So you make the call.
I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna go in as me. Like I'll use my visibility on you guys, but I'll just not, you know, I'll try not to act sketchy. I'll just be like poking around a little bit on the outside. Like I'm not gonna go in any buildings or anything like you guys might. But if you need, help with something, I'll be there to help. But
Okay.
I'll be using my concentration on you guys' invisibility.
All right.
And with
That sound good?
like I
Yep.
feel like it would make sense for you to be like,
Yeah, because I'm a bard.
and because it's your sister who is involved. So it
You're
would
gonna
be
give
that
us a
too.
little. Can you give us a little pep talk?
Maybe. How about? I was gonna say maybe I get my brother involved, but I don't know. I don't know if I really want Hansel around here during this. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Hansel, he seems a little bit too much like a Boy Scout.
Yeah, I'm taking away the spell slot for giving you guys invisibility. What kind of pep talk do you want, Vincent? What do you need from me, bud?
Just a little inspirational speech and like, oh, specifically like what you need me to go find. Like I'm like a hound. Like,
Clues.
are we sticking together, or are we gonna split up?
You guys
Well, I
can.
know we're splitting up in groups. You said you
I'll
wanted
be
to split up in
solo,
groups.
just like wandering around, like looking over the grounds, trying to talk to people and see what I can
Okay.
find, just like in the outside area. And then you guys can maybe try to like go to those other points of interest I talked about, like faculty lounge, the guy's office, wherever like a student lounge may be. And then my sister's room, I guess I can try to go towards there and just be like, oh, my family asked me to grab something of my sister's that she was looking for, since she might be gone for a while or something. I don't know. I'll try to get to my sister's room, or at least find out where it is for you
Nice.
guys to get
and
there.
we're just looking for evidence of an Arcanoloth.
And then, listening in on conversations if you hear people talking about it.
All right.
That work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay,
I
so
guess
how many of you are invisible? Let's start
everyone but
there.
me.
Okay. I will
We're
toss
we're all
invisibility tokens on you.
we're all
Yeah,
telepathically linked, and Sir Venom and I can understand any language and speak it back. I think that's how it works.
Yep. And I
That
would have.
lasts an hour.
I also would have summoned my arcane eye before he cast invisibility on us.
Gotcha. Arcane Eye. Okay, and what does the Arcane Eye do?
Let's see, invisible magical eye that I can move around and it can see but not hear. Normal vision and dark vision out to 30 feet and can look in every direction.
Wow, okay, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It can pass through an opening as small as 1 inch in diameter.
All right, that's like really good.
It's a
So
very
could that
fancy
fit
eye.
underneath like the crack of a door?
Depending on how well the door fits, like most likely.
Or like
Cool.
a keyhole.
Or a chimney?
Yeah. You now have the invisibility tokens attached. Riku, do you want to describe like how you're currently disguised?
Um. Well, I don't think I would be. I think I would probably remove my disguise if I'm supposed
Okay.
to be here. You know, um, I'm just kind of. I wanted to just go visit the college and just say I'm checking in, seeing how things are here, and then also, um, you know, doing my own homework here, try to see what my sister was up to, and try to get some of her belongings back to my family in case she isn't able to come back or something.
Okay.
Is what I'll tell the guards if they ask me.
Okay. Um, I leave it to you to move up to the front gate then, and begin to move along.
We all gathered back here. Okay. All right.
Are we following you?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah. You guys
thinking
can.
that?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we can speak in our minds. Yes. You guys can move freely. Just I'll go first, I guess, to see if they even let me in. Hopefully they do. If not, I'll find my own way in.
What time of day is it?
So you came to Waterdeep around mid-morning. You have probably spent at least 3 hours sort of diddle-bopping around the city. So I want to say like early to mid-afternoon, somewhere between 1 and 3 p.m.
What are they doing here?
Sorry, what are who doing here?
I think there's
Oh,
still all these. Yeah.
sorry, they should not be here. That's my bad.
Oh.
I was
Those
like,
three in
fuck, the plan's
those three in
off.
particular should not be there. That said, you do have the gate open as you approach, and there is a redskin tiefling individual. He's doing like card tricks, and you get the sense that he's a bit of a sleight of hand sort of magician type of bard, and he like comes through the gates, and the guards sort of nod to him, and then they close the gate behind him. There is a gnome guard and a human guard, male gnome, slightly darker skinned, relatively short, being a gnome. The magician sort of like wisps, he's like doing card tricks as he goes by you, mostly ignoring you. He actually goes into the auditorium. He steps into the auditorium and disappears, which is directly across the way. The guards look at you as you begin to approach. Do you want to continue to approach them?
Yes. So yeah. Good day, gentlemen.
Ah, well met. State your business, citizen.
Riku pulls out his instrument. Just a bard passing through. My sister actually goes here, and I was hoping to visit her.
Sister. What is your name and your station within the Bardic College?
Uh, well, I'm a bard. I didn't go to school here, but
They sort of shoot each other glances.
but I've been here before plenty times, and you can call me Kensington.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
They sort of look at each other warily, but then say quietly, "Are you America Kensington's relation?"
Yes.
Hmm. And
Is she not in? Riku looks confused.
they sort of look confused and say, "Maybe one of us should go and get the lieutenant for this." Yeah. And the gnome Pete sort of he's got a little bit of
Lieutenant?
a squeaky voice. And he goes, "I'm gonna go get the lieutenant. I'll be right back." And he like opens the door and begins to slip through.
Has something happened?
Indeed. At this time, Marika is not at the college. She is with the Black Staff.
Ah, I see.
Um, if you're going to continue to converse, it'll take a moment for them to return. But a half-elven woman and the gnome guard return. She steps forward and she goes, "Corporal here informed me that you're looking for Marika Kensington. She's a relation of yours."
Yes, my sister.
Indeed. She is no longer at the college at this time due to a recent incident here at the college. If you would like more information, you may go to either the Blackstaff's Tower or one of the city guardhouses.
Ah, I see. Well, would it be all right if I collect her things then? If she's no longer staying here, I'm sure she'd like them back.
Okay, make one more persuasion check. Your other persuasion check was so good, I'm short-circuiting the need for 3. Damn. Once again, they all sort of glance between each other and they sort of look at each other. And eventually, the half-elven woman shrugs and she says, "I'll take him to her rooms. It's a fair request. Guard the gate.
Thank you.
Come with me. What did you say your name was again?"
Uh, Lord Randall. What is it? Randall Kensington the fourth? Am I the fourth, Lynch?
You're the fourth.
Lord Randall Kensington the fourth. He says, and gives her like a sharp look.
Indeed. Come with me, Sir Lord Kensington. And she begins to walk through the gate. I need everybody to make either acrobatics checks or like some sort of check, unless you're doing something elsewhere.
Yeah, Riku's gonna hold the door open, like while she walks ahead, and then just be and like look confused at the other two and just be like, "Oh, are you guys not coming?" to the two guards. He's like letting everyone in.
So stealth isn't
But I'll do
Ooh.
acrobatics regardless.
That's a good. That's actually a really good call. Stealth for everyone, and then if Riku's going to hold the door, you actually don't need to do the acrobatics. So go ahead and just do the stealth at advantage, except for Sir Venom.
Would I be able to like fly high, like be
Well,
flying high
also,
above everyone?
You could do that, yeah.
Because I would figure that my armor is like a little noisy, so I want to like keep an eye in the sky until I need to like come back down to earth.
I think that's fair. Okay.
Should I
Vincent
still
acrobatically goes through regardless.
Okay. So-
roll a stealth check?
Yeah, I do think you should still roll a stealth check. It changes the
not
nature of how
bad.
somebody would detect you, but okay, that is pretty good. Vincent, you acrobatically and stealthily slip through. Axel, you're actually ahead of Vincent, but not even Vincent knows this. And all of you are inside at this point. I'm going to say you are a bit in the air.
Yeah, I'm probably like 100 feet up.
Yeah, whatever you would like. But you are in the air. So wherever you want to be, you may be there. And she begins to lead the way into. Let me just find which one this is again. I think it's that one. It's this one here. She begins to lead the way towards the closest building.
Riku's like, as they're walking up, he's like, "Oh, this is such a nice campus. I wish I could have a look around. Maybe you could show me a bit."
And she
Speak
gives you a
like
look
ye-
and she says,
like
I
yelling.
mean, make a persuasion check at disadvantage. And she sort of stutters and she goes, "Look, I'm already bending the rules for you. Please keep it down. I really can't allow you to do more than what you're already doing. You must understand." And I'm just
I'm
gonna put.
listening. What do I need to understand?
Look, you really can't. I
Oh my
mean, you're
God,
not
they're
supposed to
piled
be
on each
here.
other.
Yeah. It's easier than like switching back and forth between a bunch of scenes.
Yeah.
And she enters the dorm and she actually begins to head up the stairs.
Okay.
And I'll just bring it back. We'll just put you to the side for a moment and we'll bring you back up to the second floor here. And as you ascend the stairs, you see that you are in an empty dorm space at this time. All of the students must be elsewhere currently.
My. I'm surprised my sister would live like this. They have them packed like sardines in here.
And she actually gives a little bit of a laugh and she says, "Commoner, noble alike, school is good for you."
Yes, I remember those days. Riku looks back fondly in the distance.
Indeed. I believe that this was her bed here.
This one here.
Yes. And you can see that it does have a bedside table next to it. And she points to the locker that's sort of like built into the bed on two sides. So there's like a um, it's like a pull-out drawer underneath the bed, essentially.
Okay. Trying to think of
What's
how I
what's
could get
everybody
this
else
lady to
doing?
go away.
I'd be
I'm
doing flybys like by the windows. In particular, this building over here with the red roof that
Okay.
stands out from all the others.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Vincent, what are you doing?
I'm eavesdropping on this Dragonborn here.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment. And Axel, what are you doing?
Did we know which building was like the principal's office?
You do not, and so far as you've been able to tell, there are no signs.
All right. Hmm. I guess as I'm walking by these, if there's any like windows or something as I'm walking through this alley, like I want to,
Okay,
yeah, trying to
take a
figure
peek
out.
in.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 buildings here, so I'm trying to figure out which one might be the like the principal's offices, basically.
Gotcha. So you can see into this one closest to you. It is beautiful looking, significantly more beautiful looking than the one to your right. You can see into that, and that appears to be some sort of like small performance hall and practice space. And I'll put the thing back on there. The other one appears to be some sort of lounge, along with like a central table and a closed off door that you can't see into. Pretend you can't see into that first floor room there. And as you walk by, it looks quite nice in that place. We're going to go back momentarily to Sir Venom. You can see into what is essentially a common area shared by all the students. This common area is, it looks like folk come and go as they please in this space. And in fact, one person walks out and begins to go through the gates, which are open but still guarded, considering, and as they go by, you can see the stain of blood on the stones, and they walk through the gates and continue on their way. Put that back for a moment. Sir Vincent, as you walk past this area, there are two professors and They are in conversation with this dragonborn in full plate armor who has a symbol on their chest. Let me grab the symbol so you can see what it looks like. But it's a really nice looking pin that's effectively a gauntleted hand holding a sword by the blade in the middle of the sword, and so it looks like this. And it's a shiny pin that's roughly the size of I want to say about 6 inches. It's a pretty large pin on their chest, frankly. The
Okay.
Dragonborn is saying, "Look, I appreciate you letting me in at this time, and I would appreciate addressing the students. Um, the Order of the Gauntlet is here to root out evil where it can find it, when it can find it. Furthermore, there may be one or two students who someday wish to speak with us about joining the Order if they are of virtuous nature." And one of the professors says, "Give it a few days, good sir. We just need a few days. The students and us, we're still grieving. Can we have you come back in 3 days? Would that be acceptable?" The Dragonborn seems to ponder for a moment. "Yes, that would be acceptable. I apologize for intruding upon your grief. I simply had the orders of my duty, or the duty of my order, in mind first." He begins to go to walk away. Is there anything you want to do in this area, Vincent?
No.
Okay.
Continue on.
Okay. Let's go back to Riku momentarily. You want to get rid of her?
Riku.
Oh, is he gonna kill her?
Well, he was saying something about wanting to like slip away from her or something, I think.
Oh,
If he's still there.
I wanted to think of a way to cause a distraction for her to like go away for a minute, but I don't think there's anything I can really do.
yeah. When you were outside the gates, Axel was considering lighting the auditorium on fire.
God. Riku's going to I guess he'll start going through her stuff and see
Okay.
if he finds anything noteworthy.
Oh,
As you begin to go through her effects and clothing, it's funny, you begin to go through her things, and she's got good taste. That's quickly noticeable to you. Probably better than Hansel, who clearly has focused his attention elsewhere beyond aesthetic. There's a flute, a lute, a lyre, a harp, and these are miniaturized instruments for practice more than performance.
Ooh.
There's a
When-
mandolin.
I got it. When Riku starts collecting her things, he looks up the lady, then like starts patting his clothing. Is like, "Oh, I didn't bring like a bag. Do you have like a bag or something for me you could go grab?"
Um, Make a deception check. And opposed to her, she's going to make an opposed investigation check.
Okay.
Okay, she got pretty low. So she doesn't see that there's a backpack in the drawers as you had opened the drawer, and she goes, "I can let me look over here. There may be something communal that folk can use, maybe from these drawers here." And she begins to
Perfect.
open these drawers.
Okay, as soon as she like turns her back, Riku pulls out his spectacles of true sight, starts like looking around, see if he notices anything that he wasn't able to see with his regular eyes.
Oh yeah, and so that's a true sight.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just pull that up again. True seeing, I should say. True seeing, which gives you true sight. Normal, magical darkness, see invisible creatures and objects, automatically detect divisible illusions, succeed on saving throws. Okay. You look about and you do not see through any magical darkness. You don't see any invisible creatures, no visual illusions, no shape changers, and nothing within the ethereal plane.
All right.
No secret doors. Yeah, nothing like that.
Okay. Riku quickly puts his spectacles away.
And she comes back and she has like a little rucksack. Will this do?
Ah, perfect. Riku just begins just throwing all her shit in it. Willy nilly
Gotcha.
doesn't care.
You can definitely hear like one of the harp strings or the harp string like break a little bit or something, but you're just like tossing it in. She's like kind of looking at you oddly, like for a bard, you don't seem to be giving those things much care. But she doesn't say anything. She simply stands there holding her hands behind her back.
Riku
Um,
laughs. He's like, "Oh, these are just practice. Like she has much nicer ones at home." And then like he kind of thumbs over his shoulder to the like his on his back.
And she sort of glances at your back and says, "Fancy."
Yes. Yeah. We have a taste for the finer things in my family. He winks. And then he just like without even realizing, like stuffs her bag, then puts it in his bag of holding. To then looks up at her. It's like, "Oh, I forgot about this."
And she looks at you and says, "Indeed. Are you ready to leave, Lord Kensington?"
Riku just kind of like scratches his head. He's like, "Uh, sure." He's like, "Do you mind if I ask what happened here?"
I am not at liberty to say at this time. You need to report either to the Blackstaff's tower or to one of the city guard officers. They'll explain to you there.
Riku kind of like glances and looks and like gets close, like, "Look, come on. Look, I know what's going on, but I want to hear it from someone here. What you guys know, because what I've heard sounds very fishy, and I don't think my sister's. I don't think she's guilty."
Roll a persuasion check. And you're rolling for multiple things here.
And he looks at her. He's like, "And if you know her, then you know she isn't either."
Okay. She looks at you sharply and she says, "I don't enjoy being deceived to allow you entry into this place. But I will say this. If you know what she's supposedly accused of, then you know that what I've allowed you to do is a kindness that is probably beyond the crime she has supposedly committed."
You wouldn't have let
At
me come in
this,
here if you didn't. If you thought she was guilty. Riku just smiles.
and as you smile, she goes, "Regardless of what I believe, it is time for you to leave, Lord Kensington." And she actually goes to grab your arm at this point to bring you out.
Ooh.
And then he says, "No, like this," and kind of holds his arm out proper. He's like, "I've been escorted many a time out of finer establishments, I'll have you know."
Lord Kensington, I'm not one of the finer things that you and your family supposedly appreciate. And instead of taking your arm, she does actually just grab your arm.
And then Riku's like, "Oh, geez, I can walk myself, thank you. But if you must be rough, I enjoyed that as well."
And she blushes at this and says, "I'm just doing my duty, Lord Kensington." And she begins to escort you outside. At this, we're going to go back momentarily to, let's start with Axel. What are you doing, Axel?
Do any of these buildings are they labeled, or are they just are these buildings not labeled? Like in a college, sometimes colleges will like label their buildings and stuff.
So they are all labeled, actually. That's a really good call. You can see that there's a label on each of them, in particular at the front doors, and the front doors are where the path ends. The building closest to you, so the one that you just walked by on the left, has so they're all named different. Let me just pull this up so I can get this correct. They're all named after different planes within the cosmology of the universe. So in this in particular instance you walked by, was it let me find these again really fast, sorry. Elysium.
I would have given you guys all a heads up, like once I start getting the boot. It's like, "Hey, I'm already getting kicked out. Good luck, guys."
Okay.
Also gonna go fix myself a drink, so I'll BRB. But I have my headset on, so I can hear everything.
Cool. Yeah, so the one that you're closest to that you just walked by, Axel, is called Elysium. The other one that you are closest to is Arborea.
And I have no idea what these.
You can make an Arcana or a Religion check if you would like, but they are both at disadvantage, I think, is what I would say for you,
I mean, it
based on your
doesn't.
background.
Nothing bad happens if I fail, so Let's do it. Got a 19, 2 19s.
Okay. In regards to, so funny enough, you've like heard tales of this, maybe I don't know, while traveling or during your times on the street. Arborea and Elysium are both different realms relating to the outer planes, and in particular, they're good aligned. So, is that right? Yeah. So Elysium is known as being neutral good aligned, and it's sort of somewhere between celestial and fey, and the same with Arborea. It's somewhere between chaotic good and fey. It's also Arborea is also known as the Great Tree, hence the name, and it's a place of dreamers, whereas Elysium is a place of great beauty and it's a home of nature.
Okay. This is starting to sound like a Harry Potter situation. Different houses and all right. What are there any windows in this building?
There are. Yep. And you can see that this appears to
be
be some sort of like classroom with desks, and then you can even see a window in the back that appears to be an office.
But if it's a
as you're walking by these folk here, we'll retain your stealth check. You were quite stealthy. As you're walking by these folk here, you can hear one saying, "No, you sneak in. I don't want to get caught, and you owe me. You owe me big time for creating that ruckus in the mess hall." And you can hear the other student saying, "Treverian, Treverian, I'll do it. Just give me time. I know. Look, the only thing is, you can't have an A. We have to do this gently. We'll make you go from a C to a B. That won't be as suspicious." And the other one, who was named Treverian, that was addressed, she goes, "Fine, fine, it's fine. But whatever you do, just change the grades in Ragtar's book."
So okay, so this is a classroom, and that office is like a teacher's office, then, or something. Is what I'm thinking. And these kids are just scheming to get their grade changed, which is, you know, Axel won't say anything, but he thinks to himself that he's just shaking his head.
Yeah, how does Axel feel about academic dishonesty?
Axel, he, I don't know how far Axel made it in school, but it wasn't it wasn't far. Not for lack of intelligence. She just didn't give a shit. Yeah, I feel like the smallest building here. I feel like the smaller one is gotta. It's gotta be the one. Something. That's the one.
So looking in this one, you can see that it's a very small performance hall. As you come up to the windows, you can see benches,
Yeah.
chairs, and a singular large piano at the back. I'm going to pause it here for you.
Okay.
We're going to go back to the other guys. Sir Vincent, what are you doing?
Anything up with this well or this blondie over here?
She is simply reading a scroll. She's actually like sitting on like a blanket that she has out at this point. And as you go past her, you can see the scroll is titled. Where did that go? Crash down below. The scroll is titled "The Ballad of the Crystal Lyre, a heroic epic in 4 movements."
Sounds like a good read.
Wait. Oh, yeah, I thought it was like a magic scroll. Like a book scroll?
Yeah, like a story scroll, you suspect.
Yeah.
The well just appears to be a typical well. As you approach it, there's a bucket. The water is actually like pretty close to the surface. It's only about 2 or 3 feet down. It's very easy just to reach in and get water out if you so wish.
No, that seems suspicious. If I hear Riku making his ruckus, I'm gonna go try to slip into this building quietly.
Make a stealth check because the door is closed. Her back is to you, but the door is closed, and you would need to like sneak in. 27. Good enough. You are able to slip in, and I'm just going to make this invisible for a moment while you are in here. This appears to be some sort of play hall.
Play hall. Okay.
Let's go over to Sir Venom. What are you doing?
So the this building was just the first and second floor was just like student common area.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to you through the windows. Tables, places to hang out, that sort of thing.
Maybe like a pinball machine in the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I guess I would move on and I'd come check out this building, see if there's windows to look through.
There's not, but you can tell why. You believe that this is actually a barn. Um, just based on the size and location of the building. You know that from on the other side of the street, there is an entryway here with two large doors. You suspect carriages can come in from there, and then folk can walk through the more normal sized door in this space. But there's not really windows. There is like a loft space, but it would be tough for you to fit into, you suspect.
Well, if I think it's just a barn, I would probably move on and just I guess move on to this building and just keep on going.
Okay. Um, this one, as you're able to glance in, appears to be some sort of infirmary for the sick.
Okay. Nothing. And there's no one in there.
Nope, it appears empty from outside.
Maybe I'd go into the infirmary, see if I can find any records about like I'm assuming they probably would have treated the guy who got murdered in here. See if I can find like the head nurse's like logbook or something.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check to enter, just because there is somebody walking through the
Oh,
area.
dirty 20.
Okay, good enough. You're able to go on in without issue. And you want to make an investigation through the notes on the desk for whether or not Professor Maragtar's notes are in here?
Yeah, like 4.
Okay. It's going to take you a while to look through these notes is basically what that 4 means. And there's nothing about his dead body actually in the notes right away. What you do find is eventually that his name is mentioned a few different times. In particular, something about treating a dragon cold, as well as headaches. It appears that he was an adventurer once upon a time, and he does have quite a few aches that he attributes back to and this is odd. It says demon burn on his left leg. And he appears multiple times in the logs for this demon burn treatment that he supposedly received. Just based on the amount of time it took for you to find that in the book, I'm actually going to switch back to Riku, and you're going to be escorted from the area. She's not gentle with you, but she's not rough with you. But she says, Lord Kensington, we hope you have a good rest of your day. And as she begins to walk back in, she goes, don't let him in.
And then he goes, "You as well. Sorry, I didn't catch your name."
Doesn't matter, Lord Kensington. On with your day, please.
Oof, she doesn't like you.
Riku's, he kind of shakes his head and looks at the other two guards and says, "Tough crowd, huh?"
Best boss I've ever had, says the human.
Riku leads in close. He's like, "Say, a lady like that, think she'd go for a guy like me?"
Make a insight check as you say this.
16.
They both kind of look at each other and they're like, not per our information. I think it's the guy part.
Ah, jeez. I See. Riku looks around. He's like, "Well, Waterdeep is a progressive town after all." Slaps him on the shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, it's God forbid, it's not like Yartar or something.
Yartar, where's that?
Oh, a trading port off the river. Sort
you-
of like triangulate from here and actually, never mind. You know what? Just go look at a map.
I have one right here. Could you show me? Riku pulls out map.
Sure.
Riku's just trying to keep them talking, trying to get buddy with these guys.
As you pull out the map, they point sort of in just north of the Dasaran Valley. Yartar's here.
Riku's like, "Have you ever been?"
No. Waterdeep bred born, lived my entire life. Look, if you're not going to be just bothering us while we're trying to work, are you? Sort of look
No,
at you like
no.
warily.
I'm meeting someone else here. I'm just waiting for them. I won't be long. I just
Oh.
wanted to make some conversation while I'm standing here anyway. Is that all right?
We'd prefer not. And they sort of like look back over their shoulders. You're going to get us in trouble.
Riku's like, he puts his hand around his shoulder. He's like, "Listen, man. Do you know who I am?"
As you begin to put your arm around him, he goes, "Hands off, please."
Sure. But do you know who I am?
It doesn't matter, citizen. You're a citizen, therefore equal under the law.
Yes. What? The taxpayers pay your bills, do they not?
And they all abide by our rules.
As do I. Look, I'm just trying to make conversation. If you prefer, I can go stand over here. Riku signals, like, over there.
I think we would prefer that. Yeah, we would prefer that, says the other one. He sort of pipes up.
What did I ever do to you? Riku looks sharply at the gnome.
Look, man, you're going to get us in trouble. Just take a few steps back, okay?
Okay. Like
Yeah,
here, Riku clicks his heels and uses his boots to like zap from there to here.
They kind of look at each other. Yeah, that's better. Just stay over there. And they both actually get closer to the door at this point. They seem pretty perturbed.
Riku was gonna
let's-
get maced.
Let's go back to Sir Vincent for now. What are you doing?
I guess I'll just take this opportunity to rummage around, like in the back part. Is there
Sure.
any like documents or anything?
Yeah. Go ahead and place yourself within that. Is that office space that you're
Yeah, I
interested in?
guess. Yeah, sure. Anything
Okay.
that would be like more faculty,
Yeah,
So either
absolutely.
I guess this office. Yeah, I would rummage around this office quick.
Yep. As you enter this office and close the door behind you, you begin to rummage around. Everything appears to be related to plays and musicals and acting. So there's lots of different books on the many different forms of acting. You can see one that is Rumble Wharf, the famous playwright Rumble Wharf in particular. And his works in particular stand out in like a bit of a space of honor, considering that he was trained in Waterdeep. Beyond the works of Rumble Wharf, which include things like Spamlet, you find many different works of things like sonatas of musicals and orchestral performances for musicals and performances. There's one in particular that's titled, let me give you this one. It's sort of like on the desk. It's a dramatic performance of a adventuring party that helped fight off the cult of the dragon about 30 years ago across the Sword Coast in different areas.
All right. Then there would be no This is this would be a good actors if they were trying to do a cover up. These people would be involved. Vincent would think.
Is there anything else you want to look for in this office at all?
I guess not. No.
Okay. Is there anywhere
Gotta
else you'd
find
like to
something else.
go?
No, I'm just snooping, trying to find stuff about Riku's sister.
Okay. Let's go to Axel momentarily. What would you like to do?
I'm curious about the building with the brown roof because it's the one that is not like the others, at least in the roof department.
Yeah. And as you enter, it is nothing but a storage facility. You can see that, like, on the ground are broken chairs. There's a massive rug that looks like it's being rethreaded and repaired on the left side of the building. It's nothing special in particular. It's like a workshop, so far as you can tell. The doors are actually open, and there's that window. There's some windows on the back.
Yeah. So workshop. All right, and that leaves these other two. I don't think I've checked them out. So like
Which other two?
the one I'm outside right now, this one, and then this one. These two.
Yeah. So you looked in this one. This was the small performance hall here.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I did. Yeah. So then there was just that other one.
And if you sneak around the back of this other one, you will see that it is some sort of classroom attendance hall.
What's an attendance hall?
Like a place where folks would take classes.
Oh, okay. It's like a lecture hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a window.
It is a window, and you can see into a pretty nice looking office there.
All right.
Can I get into the window?
The window is actually open a crack, and you can open it and slip in. And Axel, what else are you doing?
Well, I was gonna check out this building, like if yeah, but
Okay.
Vincent's got it, so he can do
Well,
it.
what I would say, you can definitely also join the building, and unless you and Vincent are talking telepathically, you don't know that he's gone in. The one thing I would say about going into that building is you are in direct eye line of the blonde woman sitting on the grass reading a scroll.
Okay.
So are you gonna
I'd
hold?
telepathically be like, "Where are you boys? I'm trying to find any clues. You guys got anything? Where are you, Axel?"
Axel doesn't answer.
Riku would telepathically speak up and be like, "I got kicked out, but I'll be watching the gates, and I can create a distraction for you guys if you need to walk through the doors again."
Yeah, I let him know I'm in the infirmary reading up on the dead professor.
Okay. And Axel, is there do you want to try to go in this building? Do you want to go elsewhere?
No. Look, Vincent's got it, so I will go. I'm gonna teleport over here and look in that building.
Okay. We'll bring you over here in just a moment. Vincent, go ahead and let me think about this for a moment. As you enter the window through this space, give me an investigation check. Things seem untidy in this space. There's a great number of different papers across the desk, as well as what appears to be a box. And it's almost like a box filled with different scrolls that are then labeled across the top, almost as if somebody was like putting them into this box to take them out of this room. You can see that there's a bunch of empty spaces on the shelves in particular that they've been pulled from. And the room itself, you can tell, is not just locked from the inside based on the way the lock is on the door, but it is barred. The one thing you do
From the
notice,
inside?
yep,
Then how'd the person leave?
the one thing that you do notice as well is is that there is a photo, a painting, a moving painting of a smiling gnome next to 3 other individuals: a dragonborn in like robes, almost like martial arts robes, a half orc in what appears to be, he's carrying a staff, and he's got vines adorning him, almost as if like he's wearing like big beaded necklaces, but it's vines with like flowers on it. And a human with it's funny, like fire in their eyes, effectively, instead of actual eyes. And this painting has all of them smiling, looking at each other, and you can see what appears to be a city in the background, smoldering, but it's partially destroyed, partially intact. It's just a smoldering city in the background of them. But it's the three folk and this gnome person who you feel like you might recognize on some level.
Vincent would call for backup. Tell Axel to get in the building with him. He needs help.
What do you need help with? I wasn't paying attention.
I need your help figuring this out. I found some. I think I found something, but I'm not smart
You
enough
can
to figure it out.
figure it out. I'm on the other side of the complex.
If he, Sir Venom would go help him out if he,
Trying to
once he
meet
got
up
the
with you.
infirmary.
Axel
And
declines.
you can explore more if you split up. Is what he's trying to accomplish. And
Yes.
Riku will just like start playing his
Well,
instrument.
Vincent wants to look. Will at least try to specifically see if his sister's name is written anywhere on any of these papers. That's true.
I just put a cup down and start playing my instrument, kind of antagonizing the guards.
As you do, actually, Riku, there is, and I'll move some folks over there. I was away from the computer for a moment. Yeah, there's like 1 or 2 folks who are listening from not close by, but sort of afar. In regards to the names, so Sir Venom, are you going to enter via the window as well?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and bring yourself over through there. I will put the roof back on this place. Oops.
We're invisible to each other too.
You are invisible to each other too, but you can sort of telepathically let each other know where you are. Sir Venom, you enter the room. Give me an investigation check.
10.
Okay. And I'll give you the names of the scrolls and stuff. Axel, how are you entering this building before you?
Okay. So I'm gonna bang real loud on this door and then run to a window and then go in the window when they're distracted by answering the door.
The windows are closed, but you could see 2 individuals look at each other, a guard and probably a professor, you suspect. And the professor is swiftly moving over to the door and opening it and looking around outside.
Okay. Both windows are closed.
Yeah. All 3 windows actually on this side, because there's 1 window at the front as well here.
Okay. Does this door open in or out?
It opens in.
Strong gust of wind.
Yeah, if I like just strongly push the door, because if I hurt someone, I'm not invisible anymore. So if I was to strongly open this door, while they're opening it, like as they're opening it, and then like say the door was to just fly open like some greasy hinges or something, would it like hurt them and cause me to stop being invisible?
What I would say is make a deception check.
Okay.
If you want to try this, make a deception check, and depending on how good this is, It could be a number of things that happen.
Okay. Ooh, I will use my daily inspiration.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you knock on the door, run over to the window, see the individual beginning to open it, notice that the windows are closed, run back, and as they open the door slightly to look outside, there's nobody there, and you can hear this professor mutter, "Oh, bloody students' pranks. Oh," and he goes to close the door, and you barge past him. And he goes, "Oh, this door, it needs. Oh, why does it need to be fucking oiled all the time?" And as you barge past him, he then forcefully slams it, and he goes, "Apologies. Ever since Professor Magtar has passed, obviously all of us are on edge. You were saying about the city watch," and you can see that he comes back to this city watchman. And now that you look, this professor has a scroll in his hands with a quill, and he's writing. Um, the city watchman goes, "I and he's a dwarf, and he goes, it sounds like there were roughly, I think, 5 of them at this place called Prestige Worldwide back in the day. Um, Honestly, they shook the city from its slumber a little bit. You know, found all the dragons that had been stolen by Lord Neverember once upon a time. Can't believe the fool is somehow still ruling over Neverwinter. Uh, it was a pretty wild place. You can go see the building, but I don't know, still inhabited by a ghost. My understanding.
Hmm.
Is there anything you'd like to do in the space, Axel?
Ooh, so they're just talking about Prestige Worldwide. Is the door to the food open?
It is actually. The back doors are open. Yeah.
Yeah. We will help ourselves to their food.
Little side
Okay.
mission.
And as you do that, go ahead and just make a stealth check just to make sure you're not like seen picking up an apple,
Oh, yeah.
disappearing an apple.
They always talk about ghosts.
Good enough. You're able to do it silently and quickly. Okay. Let's switch back to the other two in the office as Riku plays his lute out front. The box.
Yeah.
You wanted to know what was in the box in terms of the scrolls and the texts being piled into it on the desk. You notice that there's a section that's been cleared out on one of the bookshelves that specifically has the words draconic lore on the shelf, like in gilded letters that have been placed there, like hammered into it, and it's empty. And you can see all these scrolls that say draconic lore, and then there are a number of them that have titles on the outside of the scroll. One of them is Dracorium Chronicles, a historical account of dragonkind and the Sword Coast. Another is Scales of Ages, an in-depth study on dragon life cycles. Wormcall, ancient dragon prophecies and omens. Horde of the Dragon Lords, legendary treasures and cursed artifacts. Flight of the Worm Riders, the epic saga of Dragon Rider orders. Amongst those, so those are like all collected in 1/4 of this box. There is another section that's literally just labeled Mragtar's Research. And here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different titled texts. Um, some of them are actually in relation to dragons. Prismara of the Feywild was a dragon name. They actually have a dragon symbol on all of these next to the same with the Draconic lore scrolls. The tiny terracottas, or the terracotta terrors, excuse me. And there's a bunch of them there. There's 3 scrolls grouped together called Evils of the Sword Coast, and that is Cult of the Dragon, Fall and Return of Elturel, Disaster in the Desarin Valley. And then there's a collection of the recent history of the city of Waterdeep, and it's called Waterdeep City of Splendors, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scrolls in that collection.
I feel like the one that was about research. I feel like we should take those at least. How many of these scrolls would we be able to put into our packs and pockets and stuff?
Who has the portable hole, and who has the bag of holding?
Riku has both.
So what I would say is, you could carry the entire box of all the scrolls out by hand, and it would be invisible with you if you were to do so.
Oh, or
That would not
actually,
be an issue.
I can just use a spell slot to summon the chest that has the portable hole in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll do that. And fuck it, let's just take all of it.
Okay. And as you do so,
Whose
you
office are
become
you ransacking?
uninvisible.
Oh shit, you're right. Never mind. I don't want to do that.
I would say do this. Give me an intelligence check for Sir Venom to know if Sir Venom would know that.
11.
I am gonna say in this instance, Sir Venom has forgotten, and you use it, and you can put all the scrolls into the portable hole via a prestidigitation to the chest, but you are still uninvisible.
Everything has a
Okay.
cost, my friends.
Vincent would gasp and go, Sir Venom, I can see you.
I'd like
point
look at my
at him.
hands and be like, oh shit, I'm visible again.
Do you say that over the telepathy as well, so everybody knows, or not?
Yeah. I'm
telepathy.
saying it over the telepathy. Like,
Okay.
like, oh my
Riku
god.
just like messes up in the middle of his song, like, like cringing.
Vincent kind of starts panicking, like, you got to get out of here.
It's all right. Let's finish. There's no one in this office. We'll finish looking around here. Then once I'll go out through the window and I'll just maybe Riku can cause like a distraction.
Yeah. Well,
And I'll
Vincent
fly
would
away.
point. Hold on. Vincent would point out the painting to you and say, "Hey, there's something about this is familiar. Does anything in your memories, anything in your crazy memories, know who these people are? This seems odd."
Do any of the people in the painting have any injuries to their legs that may have been demonic in nature?
Funny enough. Okay, make a. You don't even need to make the investigation check, actually. Yeah, as you look at this painting, it is very clearly you believe of Professor Magtar, because the gnome seems to have the entire pant leg burned away, and underneath you can actually see like their burned like thigh. And it looks pretty nasty, but they look happy, and you can see that they're actually putting all their weight on their other leg.
Okay. Because I'd point to the gnome and then like telepathically tell Vincent, like, that's the professor that was murdered. I saw there were like notes in the infirmary about how he some demon injured his leg with like demon fire or something. That must be him.
Oh. So this is the dead guy's office?
It must be. Did you already go through like all the drawers in the desk and
I
like look
was
for any
trying to.
secret compartments?
Well, I was looking for evidence of Riku's sister.
Huh?
Ooh, or actually, now that my invisibility's gone, I am going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay,
Bingo.
And I'm going to use a spell slot so I don't have to wait 10 minutes.
gotcha. You cast Detect Magic. You immediately notice that there are magical runes that are invisible to the naked eye on the flip side of the professor's desk from where you stand, over on the side that Knight Vincent is on, with musical notations to them, as if you sit in the chair and play the notes, something might happen.
Oh, that's so cool.
God.
I would do that.
I
But
love that.
I would try to play my flute as quietly as possible.
Okay,
Well, is
so you
there a
sit
way
in the
that we
chair.
could? Oh,
Do
God.
you
Or
can you read
Well, that's
music?
what I was gonna say. Can we convey it to Riku? We need this. We need Riku, but is there any way we can
well,
elicit his help?
music's a language, right? And I'm proficient. I'm proficient in the I'm proficient in an instrument. So wouldn't that mean I can read music?
I would say if you are proficient in an instrument, we will allow you to read music.
Okay. Or before.
Yeah, it's in your background. That counts.
Do I have?
It still counts.
I'm checking to see if I have silence prepared.
Why are you trying to fire off so many spells? What's going on?
Well, I don't want people to hear me.
Axel,
I always have so many extra spell slots, so like, why not? You know.
just to
Yeah,
check
I
in
don't-
again with Axel, what are you doing in this moment when you hear that they think they found Professor Maragtar's office?
I mean, unless they, because I know Sir Venom is like visible now, but he hasn't called for help. Like if he's visible and he calls for help, I will run over. But in the meantime, I think I'm just snacking.
Okay. Okay.
I love that playing his character.
Yeah.
Hats off.
Just yeah.
Fair enough. And mind you, it's quite a good selection of food. You suspect the Bartage College is heavily endowed with quite a bit of coin, and therefore they spend it on the niceties in life. Whatever you want, you can find within their pantries.
Nice.
Riku, you're still playing music, although momentarily when you hear that Sir Venom goes visible, you strum the wrong chord.
Yeah.
Is there anything else
Audible.
you're doing?
Audibly hits the wrong note, and then just like whoop, just go back to playing.
Make a performance check, actually, just to see how good it is.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, there's you've got the attention of not just the guards. They are listening from their vantage point. You can see that they're actually quite enjoying it. One of them's tapping his foot, the gnome in particular. They seem a little bit more relaxed. A few people have come around, more than you expected, actually, and they're listening. Eventually, the guy who entered comes back and he like sits on the steps and he's like, quite good, quite good. And you can see that he's like sitting there doing his magic tricks, practicing on the steps while listening to you, enjoying your music.
Nice. Riku's building a crowd, and I got a little cup in front of me as well, just in case.
You hear a knock on the other side of the door, and the guards let somebody out. It is a dragonborn in full plate armor, the Order of the Gauntlet symbol on their chest, and they notice you as well. Come over and listen.
Nice.
Gentlemen inside Maragtar's office, what are you doing?
I am playing my flute as quietly as I can to hit those notes and see what happens.
Make a performance check.
Session inspiration.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, it's the pan flute, right?
yeah.
Yeah, this musical notation is made for probably a stringed instrument, would be your guess, but you're not entirely sure. Definitely not percussion, but probably some sort of stringed instrument. And so it doesn't necessarily map to the pan flute very well. You're unable
Pulls
to
out his bow.
you're unable to play the notes in their appropriate order, you think, based
String
on what you
instrument,
can
you
see.
say?
The string
So
instrument, you
yeah.
say.
So I'd see if I can like describe the runes and the notes to Riku and see if he can like translate them to a wind instrument to me to see if he can like tell me which notes I'm supposed to play.
Vincent would look around for another instrument in the room.
Yeah, there is a small mandolin just lying next to the
Yeah.
desk.
Vincent goes, picks it up, and tosses it over to Sir Venom. Says, "Try this."
Okay.
I don't know how to play that.
Well, try, and I'll help you.
If you would like, what I will allow to happen is Riku can describe what needs to occur, but you guys are going to have to succeed at a skill challenge here. So
All
it's
right.
going to be Riku, you can do 3 different descriptors, and you can use different skills for each of the descriptors. And Vincent and Sir Venom, between the two of you, you can do 3 different skill checks, whichever you want, to understand Riku's translation to play the music appropriately. So go ahead and describe the first one each, is what I would say for. So start with Riku, and then how are you interpreting it, either Vincent or Sir Venom?
Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to roll that. I was just trying.
Gotcha.
Remind me again how this works.
So I'm gonna telepathically ask Riku, like seemingly you know what's going on. So fast forward to that, but be like, "Hey Riku, can you play like try to recite this tune, and I'm gonna like use my perception to listen, like to see if he play. Like I'm gonna have him suggest that he plays it like during his performance right now, and I'm gonna listen out the window and try to use my perception to try to repeat it.
Okay. So you have relayed what you are seeing on the desk in terms of the notes, in the terms of their places, to Riku. They're asking you to play it, Riku, and therefore, I guess maybe a performance check, maybe from you, and then in this
Sure.
instance, it sounds like Vincent's going to make a perception check.
Okay. So I'll do my best to interpret what you were describing and play it back to you for you to hear in your ear holes, or the ear holes in your mind.
It's
Yeah,
pretty.
least
That's what you
first
needed for the
note or
performance
two.
check, I'll say. So you play these notes really, really loudly, Riku, and folks like kind of look over at you like, "Whoa, where'd those come from?" And
Shredding on the
Vincent,
guitar.
that's pretty good. I'm going to say that you can hear this melody come through the window faintly on the breeze. And you describe it appropriately to Sir Venom. But you don't get all of it. You get maybe about a third to half of it. So if you can do one more successful, I
I
would
think it's
say.
working. Keep going.
Can I persuade him to hear the same thing again or something?
Yeah,
You want me to
what
do
I'm-
different things, right?
I do, but
Yeah.
give a reason for the persuasion that's maybe a little more succinct.
Maybe can I ask Riku to like describe how I should be like holding my hands on the mandolin and like persuade my fingers as to the proper like I don't know locations to hold them?
I think that's a great call.
Do like an athletics or a sleight of hand or something. Are you good at any of those?
I'm good at like everything, but I'm just the best at persuasion and performance is all.
You could use your persuasion to have him play better.
Yeah, allow me to persuade you to stop sucking ass. Actually,
Yeah.
you're decent, but let me persuade you in a way to play better.
And then I can like use my insight to like internalize what Riku's teaching me to play better.
That's perfect. I would say roll those up.
Done.
20 and 20. Again, you needed over 20 for both of them. You do this. I'm going to skip the third check because 15 would have caused you to move on to the third one, and then you would have needed to succeed that at an 18 or better. So you've succeeded in the entire skill challenge because of how high you rolled. As you finish playing this, based on Riku's instructions, your fingers, they don't glide across the mandolin. I mean, you're not trained in this or skilled in this, but you understand this position, strum, this position, strum, this position, strum. And it actually sounds almost like the melody that Riku played, and the desk shifts. And it shifts back and reveals a set of stairs.
Whoa!
I think
we found something, boys.
At this point, we would summon Axel.
Summon
Axel.
Yeah.
we got secret stairs under a magic desk.
And I guess you wouldn't hear me with my mouth full if I was talking in my head, but
in your mind.
Yeah, my mind still speaks clear, but my mouth is full. And shit. So are these guys still here, or are they done like with their little chit chat by the time I
Windows
exit?
unlock from the inside.
Yeah, but like even a window like is gonna be suspicious, just kind of like opening. But if they're still in here, we'll
make
dip
like
out a
ghosty
window.
sounds when you do it.
So a plate could just fall off the table on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
So you've actually been listening to them the entire time, if you wished to, Axel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You can hear this entire tale of this dwarf being like, oh yeah, I've been with the city guard now for 75 years. You know, the dead three were around at one point in Baldur's Gate, but you know, things happened here in the city of Splendors at the same time, and the statues, I've seen the statues move. And he's drinking wine and he's like kind of burping a little bit. You can tell actually as you listen in on this more and more, the professor is probably taking advantage of the fact that a guard is here and he's able to interview him, and he's slipping him wine and getting him sort of not tipsy or anything, but he's just getting him to open up about his experiences and time, and he's telling them about Prestige Worldwide and some other things.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
So is this a fire, or because I know this is a fire, but is this a fire? What is that? Right, this
Let me go back over to your side.
this little
Might be
That
a painting.
is,
oh, it's a painting.
yeah, actually, that is a painting above a bench.
Okay. So, but this is that other one in the kitchen's a fire though, right?
100%.
And that's just like, is that like an
Excellent.
oven? Just like an oven?
Yeah, it's got how do I best describe this? It has a set of like a spit above the fire that they can place pots on, and then above, like the spit though is like stone, so it's like built into the fireplace so that you can put pots both above the fire or on on the metal, because there's like an iron shelf up above basically.
Yeah. I mean, I want to start a fire, but I also don't want the fire department coming and like causing more people to rush to this place. So, ooh, but it's tempting to start a fire and then use that as a distraction. But if they're, we'll see how sneaky I can be opening this window here.
Okay. What I would say is, if you want to just flat out open the window and slip out, you can make a stealth check for that. If there's something else you would like to do to try to take their attention away, you can do that.
So, just, I mean, yeah, I guess we're just
Oh,
All right. At a moment where it looks like the dwarf is going to pour more wine, they sort of both turn away from you. You're able to open the window and slip right out.
all right, and then we'll head over.
Okay.
Whoop.
At this point, 8:38. Let's take our break. And two of you are invisible, one is visible. Riku, you are still outside up front playing and performing. If you would so like, you can do something else obviously. And we'll come back in 5 minutes. Riku, are you going to stay where you are and continue to do what you're doing while they descend these stairs, or do you want to do something else?
well, if they told the group about the secret passage, then Riku would, kindly bow and make his way towards them.
Okay.
It looks like you should be
Ooh.
able to like sneak over the wall.
Yeah,
Well, I would
Everybody
just,
applauds.
yeah, I'd say thank you. Till next time.
it is like the middle, like early afternoon.
He slips away, and so if they described what building they're in, I would just walk around outside the wall, and then
Give me your passive perception.
so 15.
That's good enough to see that you are being followed by the Dragonborn Paladin from the Order of the Gauntlet.
Ooh,
Okay, I don't know what that means,
it's got
but
the hots for you.
just know I'm being followed, I guess, and I guess I'll just stand here and wait for him to walk by. 'Cause I don't want him to see what I'm about to do.
He actually approaches you as you stop. He goes,
Riku will just turn around and say, "I noticed you were following me. Can I help you with
Oh.
something?"
Hail there, friend. I was indeed. I couldn't help but listening to your song, and it was incredible. I must ask, what is your name, sir?
Riku looks him up and down. Does this look like an honest guy, or does this guy look shifty?
Make a history check to see what you know about the Order of the Gauntlet.
I know nothing. I rolled a 1.
Oh, you've heard of them before in passing, But for whatever reason, during your time in Silvery Moon, during your time in Neverwinter, growing up, you just don't know a lot about them. You know that they are headquartered here in Waterdeep. Is actually one of the things you do know about them.
Did you say this guy is visibly a paladin?
Yeah, you suspect that he is a paladin. In fact, give me a religion check as well, because he does have a symbol on him.
We think
Besides the Order of
paladins are
Gauntlet.
basically cops, right?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay. 13 on the religion.
That one's good enough to know that you recognize the symbol of Helm, and I can give you that.
Ooh, very cool. Like Helm.
Helm's symbol is that of just the gauntlet, and so it's like one half of the
Personally, I like Helm, but Riku, I don't think really has any affiliation with it.
Gotcha.
Unless Morty mentioned it, because that was what Morty dug.
I mean, you would have known about Morty through your dad. So if you think Lord
He probably
Kensington
would have
the
mentioned
Third,
Helm. Yeah.
okay. So you know a
At
little
least
bit then.
Yeah, at least know to the capacity that was the god that Morty praised to some degree before he stopped following, I guess.
Gotcha. And he goes, well, I just wanted to know your name and tell you I appreciated your music. And so you can tell that he's some sort of clergyman of Helm associated with the Order of the Gauntlet. That's all you can gather. And if you want to roll like an insight check or something, you can go for that too.
I guess why not? Just to see if he seems like sincere, if he seems shifty. Use deuce on that.
You think that he's both sincere and he's digging for more.
Riku gives him a long look and says, "Name's Riku. If you care to know more, then stick around town. I'm sure you'll hear of me more." And he just smiles.
Riku.
Goes to shake his hand.
He puts his hand out and he shakes. He's got a pretty strong grip, but not like he's not trying to like crush your hand or anything. He goes, Riku, pleasantries. Look, there may be a matter that you can assist me with. And he pulls out.
Hold on, not so fast, Riku says. What's he reaching for?
Oh, sorry. No, it's just a piece of paper. And you can see a rolled up piece of paper that he actually pulls out from inside his armor.
Riku's like, someone got murdered here recently.
I do.
Sorry, just a little on edge.
As he unravels the paper, it is a wanted poster for the 4 folks who did the crimes at the Afterlife Casino outside of Daggerford. And he goes, "You wouldn't happen to know this one, would you?" And he points to the image that's supposed to be you.
Oh.
Riku squints and he's like, I'm sorry, where's Daggerford? Scratches his head.
Make a deception check.
You got it, boss.
And
13.
I'm going to make. Let me go to an encounter really fast and just roll as
encounter.
This guy.
Is lying.
I'm just trying to roll.
Well, Riku's about to Misty step in that fucking window anyway and be out of here.
Let me see one thing. This would be.
You have to put on a big spectacle.
Let's see what he gets.
Know me, I'm have to be noticed. I desire attention.
And he got a 16. So he is going to be able to see through your lie. He goes, indeed. And he sort of rolls it back up. Listen, Riku. And he goes to put his hand on your shoulder.
Riku would just sort of step back and not let him touch him.
Okay. And as you step back a little, he steps forward a little and he says, "Let's make this easy, Riku. I simply want to bring you in to speak with the other members of the Order of the Gauntlet, if you would. Come, just a conversation. Maybe you can tell us where your friends are. Maybe
friends? What friends?" Riku looks up to the window and Misty steps.
Gotcha. He goes, "Damn it!" As you can hear him down below. And make a stealth check. And go
Okay.
ahead and put yourself on the inside of the building.
16.
Okay, that's pretty good. Let me just roll really quick to see if you can figure out where you went. Oh, he got a 21. So I'm
What
going to
the
say
fuck?
that he knows that you misty stepped back into the college is what I'll say.
Okay.
Um,
Riku will just say in his mind, guys, we got a problem. And just be like, where are you? Start looking around.
Oh no, you got to go in through the window to get into the office, because actually we're still in the office, so we can unbar the door. So I'll open the door up for Riku, and then once he's in, I'll close it and then replace the like the I don't know, whatever was barring it from the inside.
Riku would just quickly say, some dragonborn asshole knows it's us from Daggerford. He talked to me, and he wanted to bring us in for questioning.
Jesus, out with it, Riku.
Oh.
Out with it.
Did he have armor with the fist on his chest?
Sure did. We
Axel,
gotta go, guys.
Yeah.
Show me where the
Yeah.
secret
Oh, that
door is.
jerk.
Let's go.
Axel, close that window.
Locks window.
Let's
Go check.
yeah, let's get
check
that
out
window.
the-
All right, let's get
Check out
down
the
these stairs
we
quick.
just found.
Scatter boys, go, run.
Down the stairs. Go.
so you go down the stairs. As you begin to head down the stairs, there is a lever at the bottom of the stairs, and if you want to pull it, you believe that it will close the desk above you.
Yes,
Yep.
we would.
Yeah.
Okay, you do that. You are plunged into darkness, and I will switch over the map. Does everybody have dark vision, or I think Axel needs a torch, right?
Yeah.
I do not.
I got a plan for that in the future, but for now I can't see shit.
Okay, so
I
you are
can
plunged
also-
into pitch black.
I'd cast a light cantrip on,
Well,
I guess, my
I'm-
staff, just to.
I'm always
or
generating
something
light.
something that Axel. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'll give Axel some personal light. I'll touch
Between-
his axe or something, just so it gives off light for while he's walking.
And I'm not
around.
invisible, so between my helm and my sword, I'm always basically
Whoa.
a light bulb.
What did we just walk
Okay.
into?
You walk into a basement with stone floors, stone walls, and whatever the ceiling above might be. So in some instances it's wood, like directly above your heads. Otherwise it's carved out stone and earth. In the space before you, you see one creature dead, its ichor and blood spilled across the room. You see the remnants of what was clearly some sort of fierce battle. Two creatures, one an Arcanoloth, another some sort of demonic looking 10 to 12 foot tall creature with an enormous arm and a tiny puny little arm, both petrified, fully turned to stone. There is a third. His head turns towards you. He is restrained. He is mostly turned to stone. And as you look at him, you can see that he's similar to the other petrified creature. Help me. Release me, and I will give you the services of my kind.
I feel like this is a Sir Venom situation.
Yeah. What? Who are you? What's your name?
His name, and he introduces himself. I am Rinnik, Rinnik. I am a Yagnoloth, and I believe that I've failed my mission.
What was your mission? What happened here?
You can see as you're speaking to him that the petrification has started at his feet and risen up past his hips, across his waist, and his large arm that is enormous. It's actually touching the floor, and it is also petrified up past the elbow, and he can't move it. And you can see that it's just the small hand, because the petrification comes up almost to his breast, that can move. And he goes, I am bound by the terms of my contract. I may not tell you, nor anyone, unless you can pay double the price to free me of said contract. 20,000 gold is what it would take to free me to tell you any more.
Well, how about a new contract? We free you from this petrification, and you enter into my service.
He seems to think, make a persuasion check, actually.
God, I'm rolling like shit today.
That is still beyond the bounds of my contract. The only loophole within the contract was double the price of the original.
Who is
What was the original? Like is the number you just mentioned?
So it would be 10,000 gold was for the original contract. So double would be 20.
I mean, that's chump change to us, but we don't negotiate with
What if we
terrorists.
gave you 10,000 silver?
That's
still 10,000 of something.
And you can see that he snaps his fingers on his small hand and he says, "Let me peruse the contract." Make a persuasion check, Riku.
Never.
Oh, why today?
No, we wrote it up too strict on this one. Too strict. And he goes, it explicitly says either 10,000 gold or 5 soul coins.
We only have 1 soul coin.
What about 1 soul coin and 10,000 silver?
No.
I mean, technically, it would be of equal value if it were to be 10,000 gold and 2.5 soul coins, or something proportional to that. I don't see how we couldn't reduce the price from 20,000 to 16,000 gold. That would fit the contract if you included 1 sold coin.
Does payment have to be tendered right away?
And as you ask this, you can see some of the petrification slowly begin to creep up to his bare chest, to where his nipples are. I would prefer to be quick.
Seems like you're running out of time, not us.
Indeed, but I'm still bound by the contract regardless of what happens. And you see my comrades here. They are stuck. We cannot return to our home. We will be here forever.
If I dispel this petrification, would you attack us, or would we be able to continue negotiating?
We would continue to negotiate.
I was gonna say, because I have dispel magic as well.
Yeah, so do I. You know what? Fuck it. Let's live dangerously. I will cast dispel magic on him.
Dispel magic. Let's take a look.
When you do this, Riku's gonna cast Sending to the Blackstaff and say, "We found the Arcanoloth. It was underneath the school the whole time, but it's petrified.
Well, we found an Arcanoloth.
Yeah, but send help. There's demons here as well."
And you hear the voice of Tenora Hadare. Indeed, I will be there shortly. Yeah, your dispel magic has no effect. The petrification remains as is and creeps up maybe 1/4 of a centimeter.
I would need a long rest to be able to.
Yeah, so wait, hold on. It's not like we just have to agree to it. It's not like we're just carrying around 20,000 gold in my pocket.
Except we are carrying 20,000 gold.
I'm sorry. If I could free myself of this contract, I would in an instant. If I could find a loophole in said contract to get me out of this potential awful fate, I would in an instant. There is one more thing, though I will still be bound by the contract, and I will return and enforce. You could kill me.
What would that accomplish?
I would return to Guyana and my people.
Riku looks at Axel. You heard him.
Well, why does this guy want money?
Oh, you're just gonna kill him. That's it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, all right. I mean, if you want me to kill him, I'll kill him. He's like restrained.
He's asking for it.
He's like helpless, but he's like almost fully stone right now.
Yeah. Chop his head off.
Yeah, I mean, if I could get to his head, I would just repeatedly strike him in the head.
So it will be easy to do that. He goes, "Know this: if you kill me, I'm still under contract, and I will return with more of my kind."
Let's not do that then. It sounds like the contract may be detrimental to our well-being.
What is the contract?
What does this have to do with
what?
I mean, someone explain this to me.
Yeah, what is it? I've been hearing a lot of money, 20,000 gold and stuff like that. What's the?
All I can tell you is that myself and my comrades here were contracted to do a job for someone. That job was in this place. This place held many things, and one of us now holds it, and that person is
Killed
not
the
I.
teacher upstairs.
As you say that, make an insight check.
Okay. And alright.
Is there a reason you made 2?
I did a lucky reroll because the first one.
Nice. Yeah, you can tell that he kind of makes a face, and you are able to interpret it as he's not allowed to say because of the contract.
Yeah, you did. And now someone we know is getting in trouble for it.
Look, whatever the consequences of our contract is, it
So
is.
if we get you out of this contract, will you come clean? What you did
Sure, indeed,
and
because
change
I
your
will then be under
contract next year?
contract with you.
Vincent would look around at the boys.
We'll work on getting you out, but the other ones are dead.
Money is the money is
Riku
money. I
says.
mean,
Well, they're petrified. We can unpetrify them.
Is there like a greater
Don't
healing?
tell him that, Riku
Oh.
says.
I mean, he knows that.
And he's like looking back and forth at you all.
I mean, if it's just about money, this guy would be in debt to us, and we could figure that out later, and we would clear your sister's name. We'd be all set.
I mean, we have the Arcanoloth here. We've already cleared my sister's name. That part's done.
Again, we have Anarch. We don't know if this is like the Arcanoloth.
Good enough. I've found underneath the guy's office how,
Yeah.
True. Telepathically, Sir Venom would say, like, I'm kind of tempted to pay this guy to get him into our service. Seems like it might be useful, or at least interesting.
not 20,000 interesting to me.
20,000.
Well, he would be in our debt, so we could probably put him to work or in some way.
I think doing that though would being in league with devils is probably not good business.
Yeah, could we put him in our pocket and like whip him out when we need him in a fight?
That being said, we've been being attacked by devils. We could use them to put them in our casino.
What?
Just saying. We can put him in our casino to protect it. We've been being attacked by devils at our casino. This guy could fight some devils when they pop up.
Saying you want to fight fire with fire.
Yeah, I mean, you just said you
We've
didn't want
already
to be in
scarred
league
our
with
patrons
devils.
from
I'm
someone
just
getting
saying
killed.
that. Oh, it'll be a good devil. What's a good devil? An angel. He'll be an angel. He works for us. The angel of
Riku looks him up and down and says he doesn't look very angelic to me.
the Raven's Nest. All right, whatever. Let him die. I don't care. I thought
Well, if we kill him, he'll come back with more devils.
Yeah, and kill more.
So
people.
if we don't pay him, we should just let him petrify. So then we can always just come back and unpetrify him if we need him for anything.
And you can hear him, the panic in his voice, being like, help. Here, look, here's a sample contract, and he puts forward a sample contract, and let me.
All right. Well, Vincent would ask him if he could monetarily repay us, because that's obviously what my group members are looking for. He would just ask him outright, like, do you think he could repay
we pay
that
for his
debt?
services. You can ask him, but what I thought was happening.
Are we getting into slavery?
That's what it sounds like.
We're like buying this guy.
So the infernal contract that he puts forth is basically terms of servitude that are restricted to a certain specific set of things upon which the group determines. It's an employment contract, not a slavery type contract, nothing of that nature. You would buy him his services to do a job, and upon said completion of said job, you would pay him, or he would attempt to take your life. He is an infernal being, nonetheless. In regards to the specifics, his previous contract, and he will enter this into the like this is just a sample contract that he puts forward. But in regard to the specifics, you could do something along the lines to say your previous contract is null and void per the terms of the original contract. You can tell me all said secrets of original contract, so on and so forth.
Oh, I see the first part. Mortal party agrees to willingly surrender their immortal soul.
Oh, I'll remove that. I'll remove that. It's just that's one of the samples.
No, this guy, he lost it. He tried to deceive us. Let him petrify. And Vincent turns his back on him.
Yeah, so Sir Venom's soul already belongs to the Raven Queen. He wouldn't be able. That's not something that he is at liberty to give away or sell.
Yeah, and mine's mine, right? Riku scratches his head like where his horns might be.
Get this guy out of here. Let's go home.
No, we're waiting for the Blackstaff. I remember I called her.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It will be some time before the Blackstaff arrives. You do hear pretty clearly footsteps overhead, and you hear. Actually, everybody, give me a perception check.
Oh my god.
What's it? Why you always gotta say, "Oh my god"?
I haven't rolled I don't think I've rolled above
Did
a
I
5
wrong to
this
roll one?
entire session.
Rolled nature.
Let's see.
That's the wrong button. Reroll.
Oh, that's pretty good. So Axel and Vincent, the two of you are able to make out the voices above very quietly, but you can hear the Dragonborn saying, "I swear, I saw, I don't know, the one that you call Lord Kensington. He introduced himself as Riku to me. I swear he teleported of some nature into whatever building this was. I don't know. Whoever he is, he means no good will towards you or the college. Do not trust him. Do not let him back on this premise. If you see him, contact the Order of the Gauntlet, bring the City Watch, throw them in jail at once." You hear one of the professors say, "Oh, I hope they didn't hurt Professor Mragtar." And as this is happening, the restrained individual begins to yell, "They're downstairs! They're down here! Come save me!"
Ooh, I would quickly try to bind his mouth, try to gag him or something. Stick a dirty sock in his mouth to keep him quiet.
Okay, you pull that out. Axel, while that's happening, do you, whoever else wants to give a perception check or do something, you may do so.
Yeah,
It's no issue to bind him.
I want to motion to Vincent to get on the other side, like in that little corner thing, like right, like in here.
I'll
Like
oblige.
yeah, if someone's coming down, then we can like jump them if they're.
Well, I'm invisible. Are we invisible still or no?
Yeah, several of you are still invisible, actually.
Yeah.
So you're invisible. You're invisible. He knows you're there because he heard your voices. If you spoke to him, but Riku and Sir Venom, you are visible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be hiding behind this giant minotaur.
Well, if they do
Okay.
come
Cool.
down here and see them, we should let them walk by us and get to the middle of the room, and then we'll jump them and start beating their asses.
And Sir Venom, where would you like to be?
I guess I'd hide behind this petrified guy.
Okay. You hear the voices say above sharply, "Is there a basement here? How do we get downstairs?" And you can hear the other voice. You hear the other voice be like, I don't think there's there's no basement here. I don't know where that voice came from." And the guy is attempting to make noise, but you've gagged him pretty well. He's can't do anything.
I guess I'd also I'd whisper or I'd say quietly to him so I'm not overheard. We can always come back and unpetrify you, but if we get caught by these guys, you're petrified forever.
And he sort of meekly nods. You suddenly hear
No,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask Riku telepathically if he can he Misty Step Me or like invisible people
No, I can dimension door them,
upstairs?
but we'd have to go together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe Vincent would be asking. We just gonna or all right? Then Vincent would ask the group. We're just gonna wait these guys out, or do you wanna?
Waiting for the black staff.
I know, but where is she?
Go
She's
get us
not gonna
out of
come
this.
down
I
here.
think he was just about to say something about it before we
Okay.
started doing
Then
this.
I'll be quiet.
It does take a few more minutes. You hear there's rustling above, movement of things. And finally, I think this desk. Oh, black stuff. What are you doing here?
Vincent would
You
go
can hear.
pull the lever once he heard the black stuff.
Okay. You pull the lever, the door opens, and let me bring the black staff and the Dragonborn Paladin in.
That's it.
Maybe me and Riku will maybe take point and talk to them. I'd say telepathically. Will you guys stay invisible in case we need to
Yeah, Vincent's staying
find our way out of
invisible.
this?
Oh, we're
Okay.
fine now, but Vincent's gonna stay invisible.
All right,
There's
Riku.
that.
Let's reveal ourselves to the Black Staff.
Hey, there she is. Just who we were looking for.
And I'll bring the Dragonborn down behind her, and she says, it is okay, Monduis. It is okay,
Yes.
Monduis.
Tell that guy he's not who. I'm not who he thinks I am. Okay? Riku says, just like smugly, and then says to the black staff, "Look, we found what we're looking for," and points to the Arcanoloth.
She sort of looks back at Monduis and says, he might be who you think he is, but at the same time, for now, Monduis, they're under my protection. And
He's a
as you can
scoundrel,
see,
but he's a useful scoundrel.
she sort of smiles at that and says, indeed. They did find the killers of Professor Magtar, I do believe. As Maragtar's body told me, an Arcanoloth. As
That's right.
Marika said,
We captured
an
and defeated
Arcanoloth.
this creature ourselves. Riku puts his foot up on the dead creature.
Make it a deception check.
20, dirty 20.
Just make a roll against that. Believable enough by at least Monduis. You killed a Gorgon? And none of you are petrified, but they all are. That's far
Right,
more
we
impressive.
I rode the creature atop it and used it to distract these ones. And he points at the petrified ones. He's like, and then I killed the creature single-handedly.
Monduis, would you be willing to cast Greater Restoration on one of these? I suspect with all of us here, we could subdue it. He sort of looks at her.
Point my thumb at the guy behind us, who's not like totally petrified, and be like, he's been awfully talkative so far, and he's willing to enter in a new contract with someone as long as they pay him.
How much? Says the
20K.
black staff.
20,000 gold or 5 soul coins.
She takes 5 soul coins out of a pouch. Says, I always knew that these would have some use. Never thought I would employ an Arcanoloth, a Yugoloth. And she steps forward and she says,
Reach out, I take my dirty sock out of his mouth.
She taking our thing?
what is
Yeah,
your
hey, guys.
contract?
Riku just says to the guys, "Hey guys, it's cool," to the invisible guys. If they feel like dropping their invisibility.
I mean,
Sure, yeah. If Axel does, then yeah, he would.
And he steps back and goes, there's more of you. Jesus, I never thought. Oh, by Helm.
He thought I was alone. Riku winks at him and then just goes back to doing what they're doing.
And there is a negotiation between the black staff and the is it a Yanoloth? A Yagaloth? Let me just check the name on that and I'll tell you. The Yugoloth, whatever this Yugoloth is called, Rinnik. And eventually there is a haggling back and forth. He goes, fine, for the 5 soul coins. And you can see that she's like sort of letting the petrification creep up to his neck at this point. he can still move his arm, but it's not going well, and he's only able to like move it from the elbow. And he goes, "Fine, fine. Those terms are acceptable. You can call upon me with another soul coin as you will. I will tell you all details of my previous contract, and I am yours to do your bidding twice upon the material plane, but no other. And once completed, I will return to my own plane." And the wording has to be, as you say, exact. And you can see that he's like terrified, and yet he's very willing to just sign this contract. And she goes, "Deal, 5 soul coins," hands it over to him. "Well, Monduis, greater restoration." And he steps forward. "Never thought I would use this on an infernal being." Touches the stone body and removes the restraint on him, steps back. And the Tenora Hadari says, "The first order of business is to stay here and do as these 4 wish you to do," which I do believe is to tell us a full story about how this occurred. Is that right, gentlemen? She looks at you.
Riku's like, I was just playing about that story before, but yes.
Indeed. And the Yugoloth before you, Rinnik, begins to stretch and goes, "Oh, that feels so much better. That feels so much better. Thought I was going to be stuck like that for centuries." Oh, well, so we were hired by Natasha to come here and kill Professor Mragtar because he knew quite a bit about draconic lore. Let me think back on the other contract for a moment. And he begins like flipping through. He like appears a number of contracts in his hand. He's like, "Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Nope, not this one. Here we go. Natasha. Uh, yes. Sent to obtain any information on the Sword Coast that they found in the possession of Professor Mragtar. We placed all the scrolls in the box upstairs that you probably saw, and to bring back any magical items the professor was hiding and to not be seen. Upon surveying the office, it was very clear that we could descend through the space in the desk, the stairs beneath the desk, and lo and behold, there was a golden feather, which this Arcanoloth here now holds petrified upon its body. We do believe that this golden feather is celestial in nature. We're unsure what it does, but we took it nonetheless in the midst of the battle with this Gorgon, which caused all of the ruckus and destruction that you see all about us. There were numerous beautiful pieces of artwork, and you can see actually amongst yourself that there's glass, pottery, paintings. The detritus and refuse and rubbish about is clearly destroyed from the battles that occurred. And then we were to return to Natasha at her home and provide her with all of this.
That bitch stormed our party and our dreams, Riku says. And now she did this?
Yeah, she seems to have her fingers in a lot of different pies.
Natasha.
I don't like her.
She's done for, Riku says.
And at this,
telepathically, I'd want to ask like the boys, like, how much do we trust this Blackstaff? Should we fill her in on what we know about Natasha so far?
Not in front of him. He and then he looks at the Dragonborn. Wait till after he's gone.
Fair enough.
do you mean Natasha? I don't actually know her last name. And she uses minor illusion to create what is a visage of the woman you know as Natasha. And the Yugoloth nods and goes, "Indeed, that is the Natasha that I speak of." And she looks at you all and she goes, "I met her 20 years back or so in Candlekeep. We were both studying there. Pleasant woman. Surprised that she's employed these fools."
Candlekeep, huh?
"Indeed."
Riku just says like everything I said before is like in her mind, so now he'll say out loud, yeah, we know her a bit.
Was I mean,
We're not
actually,
fans. Is what he'll say.
did I catch a glimpse of her at your grand opening shenanigans?
That's right. We believe she may have been responsible for that.
I thought it was her, but across the room.
And also, I'd take out the soul coin that they left behind and show it to the Blackstaff. Like her son left this in one of our tip jars. Does this mean anything to you?
No, but if you don't mind, I would like it. I'm now down 5.
It's my only soul coin. I feel like it might be pretty valuable. I don't know
Make
whose
proof.
soul it contains.
Make a persuasion check.
14.
Well, I did just pay 5 of them, and all that I know is that when a soul is imbibed into a soul coin, it means that they were probably in the service of a devil in the first place, and that their soul was forfeit. Poor fool though they may be, I would consider them lost at this point in time, and I don't think spending it is that big of a deal. If you wish, you can keep it. I won't try to take it from you, but I would ask for a favor from the 4 of you at some point, considering what I just paid.
Of course. So let us
That's
know what you have
fair.
in mind, Blackstaff. We're happy to help. And my
Thank you.
sister's clear now, correct?
Oh, your sister's quite clear. Indeed, this one admitted to the fact that I believe you said this, and she points to the petrified Arcanoloth. This one committed the deed, and he sort of nods. And yes, he did. Well, your sister's in the clear, Riku. As for the Order of the Gauntlet, well, at some point I mean, I will vouch for you to the best of my abilities, though if there are things beyond the college here, maybe you will have to fess up to those. Um, Natasha.
Yes, how do we find this, Natasha? Could this soul coin perhaps lead us to her in a way?
Maybe. It's possible. I mean, if the soul is somehow linked to her, I don't see why not.
Someone that she was with deposited it, so I don't know if there's just spitballing here.
Someone that, wealthy and well connected, I'm sure we shouldn't have too much trouble tracking her down.
Well, you say that, but when I asked her where she was from and where she lived, she never told me. When we were studying at Candlekeep, rather enigmatic woman. She did have this. Well, I don't know what to call it other than a wand, although it was so strange looking. Every evening she left Candlekeep through a portal. I was able to divine that much one time, but I don't know where it led, and so I'm not so sure that she's an easy woman to track.
And then I'd chime in and be like, if it helps you at all, she's originally from a land called Barovia.
She looks at you blankly. Mondoise looks at you blankly. They look at each other. Barovia? I've never heard of such a place.
Pocket dimensions, immortal vampire lord. It was quite the place.
Messy business.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
15.
They understand the combination of words, and yet the outlandishness of what you've just said and the absurdity of it, they kind of look at each other again. They say, right. I don't want to say I don't believe you. That's an odd way. I'm surprised you're here. Indeed. Anyways, back to the task at hand. Natasha, no, she never, she always appeared alone, is what I can say. She always would leave in the evening through a portal of some sort, I suspect. Or, the one time I saw her leave, she went into a empty classroom in Candlekeep, and then I was able to scry upon her. Whoops, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I bend the rules from time to time. And I saw her cast a spell with the portal and disappear through the portal. I was curious as to where she went every night, because she didn't join us for meals. She didn't join us for revelry while studying. Candlekeep is a quote-unquote unofficial school of magic at moments, when several of us are there, but I don't know what to do to help you with this further. What I will say is Marika is in the clear.
Good. Mission accomplished.
Do you know if Natasha still hangs out around Candlekeep?
No, I've not heard of her across the realms until I saw her at Shenanigans the other day.
Very suspicious.
I'm
Riku,
sorry, but
go ahead, Axel.
what's this guy's deal? Points at Dragon Man.
Riku just brings Axel close and says, he thinks we're involved in some messy business down south. That's all. Don't mind him.
All right.
Boys, I believe it's time for us to go. Blackstaff, it was good seeing you, and we'll catch up soon. And you let me know. He just like puts hand to head like for the call me. He's like, you let me know when you need to do that favor, eh? Gives her a wink, and then he's like, let's go, boys.
Wait, before we leave, is there any way to take the feather from the Arcanoloth?
Everything, the Arcanoloth and everything on it is entirely petrified. And
Yeah.
now that you hear that there is a supposed feather, you can see holding close in one hand against its chest the etched stone, like bas relief of a feather that it's holding.
So is he holding it in a way that I could like snap off his hand that's holding the feather and take that with me?
No, he's holding it in such a way as that it's pressed against his chest, so that you would have to like chisel it out of his body.
Like smooth against his chest.
Yeah.
So wait, so you're saying that he right now is completely made of stone?
Correct.
So if only I had a magic spell where I could freely shape stone. Oh wait, I do. Um, so would I be able to use stone shape to remove
Ah.
the feather from him?
Let me see.
What a random spell.
That's I didn't even.
I love this spell.
Of who doesn't love this spell?
Stone shape flesh to stone.
Like I'm waiting for us to be in a situation where like I can just make a stone door in the middle of a wall. But this also works.
I'm going to say that you can stone shape at will, but that it will not necessarily. So, like, if you unpetrify it in some way, if you use a greater restoration on the stone shaped feather, and you would know this based on your study of Arcana in general, that the greater restoration as a more powerful spell supersedes the stone shape. So you could stone shape him into whatever form you want, but that if you were to do that, cut off the hand and take the feather, and then try to just greater restoration the feather, it would not work.
Okay.
But if you had greater restoration, couldn't you just do the whole thing? But then he would attack us. Is that
This
the
petrified
thing?
things is like it's only petrifying the creature and then like whatever it's holding by extension. So you
Right.
have to unpetrify the source.
Right.
Maybe I'll confer with the Blackstaff real quick. See what she thinks about the feather. If there's any way she can think of, if we separate the petrified feather, that if we're able to restore it to its normal state.
I believe that is doubtful, especially if it's a powerful magical item, such as they describe they were sent to steal. On a side note, my understanding is that when Professor Mragtar and his friends brought the city of Elturel back to the Sword Coast, they were granted a boon by Zariel, who they had saved from being a lord of the Nine Hells and turning her back into an archangel. My guess is that one of those feathers are from her wings. And so if I may be blunt, it's an incredibly powerful magical item. I doubt it will be linked to anything other than Mragtar, but now that he's dead, it's linked to whoever holds it, and I suspect that if that person dies, its power wanes.
Oh, I still want it.
Let the item
Mondui?
go. Let's go.
Oh, I wish I had greater restoration so I could just do the Arcanoloth. But all right, I tried.
Mondui steps forward and he goes, "Hold. There's still the question of your involvement in the Afterlife Casino."
The what casino?
I chuckle.
And he looks at you and he goes, "You don't fit the description, I believe."
None of us
Well,
do.
Man with an eye patch, half elf with a mandolin, turtle. I don't know. 3 of you match it quite well, I have to say.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
I mean, you got the wrong guys. We've been busy. We have a business in Neverwinter. We're notable business owners. I'll have you know. Why would we get caught up in some foolish thing like a casino robbery? That's come on. That sounds ridiculous. Do you know who I am?
I'd telepathically told Riku that he never mentioned the word robbery. Don't give up too much information.
Oh.
It's okay.
Make a deception check.
I know.
What exact? Vincent would ask what was stolen.
Well, I saw the poster.
He never said anything was stolen. Maybe we're
He
giving
did.
too much away by trying to not.
I
give
saw the
anything away.
poster though. He showed me the poster.
Objection.
He said
I'm not saying this out loud, by the way. Anyway,
he did say there was a robbery at the Afterlife Casino and the wanted poster.
Anyway, I
and-
rolled a 15 deception.
And he gets in this one he goes,
Finally.
I'm not necessarily sure. I mean, you are business folk. I think I understand that from Tenora Hadara here. She said a grand opening of something. All of that might be true, but you look like these folk. And he
Riku
looks at
goes up to him.
Tenora.
Well,
Riku
maybe
goes
the
up to him and goes
poster's
like,
wrong.
"Look, we're friends with the Black Staff. How bad could we be?"
Look, Riku, I think this guy might be racist. He thinks all warm-blooded people look alike, and it's kind of messed
And
up.
he's even racist against his own kind. Looks at Vincent.
And he looks at Vincent and he goes, "Turtles and Dragonborns are very different." And he looks at you all. Look, where are you staying?
Well,
That information's our own.
whoa.
Why do you need to know that?
We're the proprietors of shenanigans.
He looks back at Tenora Hadari once more and he goes, "Tenora, I need your assistance here. You are an agent of the city. It is your duty to help me in this. If they've committed no crime, there's no problems, and they'll go free, as per usual. But I know that these two," and he points at Riku and Axel in particular, "we're near something that we need to speak to them about anyways."
Near something. Riku's like scratching his head.
This is very cryptic.
Yeah. What are you talking about, sir? You're making an awful lot of accusations without much proof here. You're going off a poster that looks nothing like us. If anything, you're the one who looks kind of crazy. Riku's gonna say.
Tenora Hadare looks at all of this and says, "Riku, Axel, Vincent, Sir Venom, how about we go back to your father's place and discuss this over with Monduis?"
Surely, my father can talk this man into his senses.
Indeed. I'm less worried about your father talking this man into his senses than this one doing something foolish and attempting to throw you in the brig. I would rather hear you out than anything else at this moment. And so let's take this slow, Monduis. He finally seems to acquiesce and nods. At which point he says, "After you, Blackstaff. Are you guys gonna
Father,
go?"
I just want to quickly take the Gorgon's eyeballs. Before we
mean,
leave, just like real quick, scoop them out.
So the Gorgon, let me just double check this. Let me look at the Gorgon for a moment. It's going to be really difficult to do so. And the eyeballs are not what causes petrification. It's its breath.
Oh. Well, all right, we'll leave them here because after a long rest and I have greater restoration, I want to come back for that Arcanoloth and the feather.
Gotcha.
Also, Arcanoloths usually have a very pricey spell book on them as well that we should take.
Totally come back here solo and see how that goes.
Anything else?
See if I could take them.
At this, the Yugoloth looks at the Blackstaff and he goes, "Am I dismissed?" And she pauses for a moment. She goes, "You're dismissed." And he, "Oh, finally." Kiana, here I come! And disappears. She begins to leave. Let's go to your father's residence, Riku. Roosters.
Yes,
Let's go. And let's flip it over to
farther away. He'll hear all about this.
Kensington Manor.
On the walk back, I'd ask the Dragonborn to tell me about Helm, just out of curiosity. Make some small talk and maybe befriend him a bit on the way.
Sure. He will tell you all about Helm. While I put all your characters in here. Helm is the god of vigilance, I believe they say. And in particular, he's known as someone who works alongside Tyr. He is a good, generally regarded as a good god, but more of like a law and order god than a good god. Find Helm. Yeah, he's known as the Vigilant One, has long been seen as a cold and focused deity, impartially taking the role of defender, sometimes enforcer. The Watcher was the epitome of the vigilant god and the embodiment of spiritual watchfulness. He is lawful neutral in terms of his alignment within the multiverse, and typically those who adhere to his principles wear full suits of armor, as you can see that this Dragonborn does. He also has the symbol, obviously, of Helm on his chest. And he said one of the things that Helm says is to keep the path of the unfettered gaze. I shall not err if you are watching, my Lord Helm. As you arrive at the Kensington Manor, you are greeted and immediately ushered into the parlor, announcing the Blackstaff. Lord Kensington sweeps into the room and he says, "Oh, Blackstaff. Lord." And he goes, "No, Lord. It's Sir Mondoise." Let me give you the full name for Mondoise. Sir Mondoise Dafar, Brass Dragonborn, Defender of Helm, Paladin. And he sort of bows. What can I do for everybody here? And he looks at Tenora Hadare, and he looks at Mondoise. He looks at you all.
Riku speaks up and says, "There's been a mistake, Father, and this man, he's making all sorts of backwards accusations, and we just need you to talk some sense into him."
At this, Hansel is going to come into the room as well. And Hansel comes down the stairs and steps into the room and sees Mondoise and goes, "Sir Mondoise, what is going on here?" And Mondoise goes, "Ah, Hansel Kensington. I did not put two and two together. Interesting. Do you know these folk, Hansel?" And he looks around and he goes, "Well, that's my brother, Sir Mondoise." "Indeed. Sometimes the apple falls far from the tree," he says, looking between the two of you. "Lord Kensington, I do believe that three of these individuals are wrapped up in, well, frankly, it can only be described as a heinous crime of murder and robbery outside of the town of Daggerford at a place called the Afterlife Casino. Regardless of the fact that those at the Afterlife Casino may be of tiefling origin, they were still murdered in cold blood. These folk here, I believe, are responsible. I would like to put all of them under a zone of truth."
Riku just starts laughing. And he's like, "You hear this, Dad? Just coming in here making accusations in our house."
This is preposterous. My son would never do such a thing. Blackstaff, you must put a stop to
you
this.
in a zone of truth.
How dare he even come here and suggest such a thing?
Yeah,
What nerve this man has.
Isn't this innocent until proven guilty?
With what proof? Show him that poster. Show my dad the poster.
And he pulls the poster out of his breastplate again once more and hands it forward and he says, half elf, bod, mandolin, locket around his neck, turtle, bow and arrow, swift as can be. Human man, eye patch. Well, it's not in the drawing in particular, but human man, one eye patch, brutal looking individual and fellow. And he goes, actually, where did he go? And then he sees that you've like snuck behind him, Axel, and he takes a step back.
Yeah.
Hansel, could you take your Griffin cavalry and alert the rest of the order? That is an order to you, Hansel. Hansel at this looks stricken and torn between.
Riku just says in a message, just duty ass.
Right, so Venom would step forward and be like, "Well, what about that that fourth person? That doesn't look anything like me."
And Hansel sort of nods and he says, "Yes, Sir Mondoise." And you can see him leave through the garden, and then he takes off on his griffin. Yes, we don't understand. Blackstaff, this individual here is not under any illusion spell, is he? And she goes, I won't hurt you, Sir Venom, but I am going to use dispel magic on you just in case,
Sure.
if you wish.
I'm not hiding nothing.
She uses dispel magic. There's no illusionary spell on you. He is as you see, Sir Mondoise. He does not fit the description so far as I can tell, even if the other three bear some resemblance or similarities.
Are we still telepathically communicating?
I'm going to say it's been more than an hour at this point. Come, Blackstaff, there's no need to get the entire Order of the Gauntlet here for this. And she looks at him. He's got a point, Sir Mondoise. Why the entire Order of the Gauntlet? Normally, only 2 or 3 would be needed for such a thing. And I myself am here. Surely you don't think that I can't control the situation. And Sir
It's getting a bit
Mondoise...
out of hand, people. What's going on here? Why the hostility?
And he points at Riku and Axel and he goes, you two, can I ask you to stand over by the fireplace? And the other two stand back by the bookshelves on the other side of the room.
Axel is not.
Riku folds his arms.
Axel does not take orders from this guy.
Yeah, he's not moving.
Roll persuasion.
Now he's looking at his dad.
Roll intimidation checks.
Axel is not. He's not 20. He ain't budging.
Okay. and he sees you not budging. He's like, well, be as it may.
Yeah, Riku's going to reveal his helm now too.
Oh, nice. So the Helm of Brilliance is now visible. And Tenora Hadare says, indeed. Well, did not see that one coming. Lord Kensington, your son has more surprises than we expected. Sir Mondoise, enough with this charade. Why do you wish to sequester these men? What is actually going on here? Is this related to the Afterlife Casino? And he goes, partially. But these two, and he once again points at Riku and Axel, and he says, these two set ablaze the Quanon. It reacted heavily and showed us these two in a cave, somewhere along the Sword Coast, outside of a town called Homeport. Something terrible caused it to erupt and to show us them within the Quanon.
Say what now?
Yeah. Again, wild accusations.
And he looks at you all and he goes, the Quanon is the Order of the Gauntlet's most powerful artifact. It's a divining pool that we purchased from the remnants of the Xanathar's Guild after its destruction about 30 years back. This wonderful half-elf sold it to us. In fact, the Quanon allows us to use our divine intervention to identify powerful objects of evil up and down the Sword Coast, and for us to see it. We take shifts and watch the pool when an object of evil alights the Quanon. And Tenor Hadare says, it's one of the reasons the Lord's Alliance, Waterdeep, Baldur's Gate, Elturel, Silvery Moon, Neverwinter, have seen such prosperity over the past 25 years or so. The Order of the Gauntlet has been able to suss out evil before it gains a strong foothold in any one place, and we eliminate it. She points back to
So what did you
Sir.
see in this pool? Exactly.
At this point, he's pacing. Sir Mondoise is pacing back and forth in this space, and he says, well, we saw you two. He points at Riku and Axel. He says, we saw you in a cave, putting black obsidian stones on the ground in the form of an obelisk that had toppled over. And when you did so, something erupted from it, and a book fell out of a bag, and the thing from the obelisk was absorbed by the book. And now you can see Tenora Hadare looking intently at the two of you and glancing at Sir Venom and Vincent at times. Lord Kensington saying, come now, this is ridiculous. A book, a cave. There's nothing bad here, Sir Mondoise. Blackstaff, please. Let's put an end to this charade.
Yeah, we
And
don't.
Sir,
We never heard of such an item. We don't have it.
make a deception check.
You can search us if you want.
Make a deception check at advantage.
Okay.
You work for Zoltan?
Well, not much better, but a little
So
better.
the advantage here is you don't actually have it, and if they search you, you won't have it.
Yeah.
The deception is that you do know about it. He kind of looks at you surprised, and he goes, may I search you? My understanding is that it came out of some interdimensional.
Riku shows it
Riku,
and then
look in your.
opens it.
You should look in your own pockets real quick and see. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Just don't look in. Yeah.
Do you pull out the portable hole?
Yeah.
Wait, why?
Okay.
No, don't do that. Why would
Why?
you do that?
Why? Why does it matter?
That's our secret chest. They don't even know it exists.
Well,
So
they saw it come out of that, didn't they?
Yeah, Mondoise specifically is saying like they saw the book come out of what they believe to be some sort of interdimensional space.
And I don't have the statue, so like nothing we have in there is like illegal stuff.
Do we have anything illegal in there?
No.
I think the pastries. I put the pastries in there because so anybody can pull them out if they needed them. But
Well, as long as they don't eat the pastries. They
drugs,
just look like
yeah.
regular old stale pastries.
yeah.
Vincent would point at one and so those are delicious.
Oh.
So looking at
Nothing
So looking-
too out of the ordinary.
Yeah, let's get the black staff hooked on crack.
they look through your inventory. They don't see anything in particular that catches. They say this is an incredible amount of wealth, though no, I don't think I see what it was I saw in the picture. What did you do with it? What happened?
Must have been a prank call. You know, sometimes those things they get, funny service. I don't know what happened. You're the one with the crazy magical artifact, not me.
Wait, I stepped away for a moment. How do they know about the portable hole in the book?
They saw it in
scrying
some
us?
vision.
It was the episode where we
transponder.
split up and you guys were in doing the Raven trials and we were fighting,
to
fought
kill
a
some-
troll, and then we fought like a, yeah, we were
Some
in,
creepy animals or
it was one of
something.
the episode where we split up.
But they
Yep.
just saw it in a vision though, and he's accusing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like some magical artifact that can like show them where evil items are. So they were questioning us about it.
And Riku and his father are trying to gaslight the fuck out of these people.
Yeah. Basically.
There are two individuals that come running back into the room, and you see Hansel and a dwarven man in armor, similarly dressed to Mondoise, in that he is clearly some sort of paladin, but he's got like a sun on his on his lapel, and Mondovis goes, Sir Oslin Naren, Hansel, where's everyone else? And as they both run in, you can see sweat on their brows, and they go, the harbor, it's being attacked. I don't know, it's a ghost ship. It's a, I don't understand. It's, and you can see the look on both Lord Kensington and the Blackstaff's faces turn cold, and they look at each other and they go, Snowmane, she's here.
Who?
And they all sort of look at you and they go, Larissa Snowmane, privateer captain of the Sea Dancer, swashbuckler, head of a ghost ship that raids ports up and down the Sword Coast from time to time, taking what they wish.
So
Is the order?
Venom's ears perk up. Swashbuckler, you say?
We can handle
Indeed.
them.
Privateer. She recruiting?
No, she's awful. She's deadly. She kills on sight. Her and her crew, they seem to ghost into port, take whatever they wish, and then ethereally move along. They leave dead in their wake. They leave awful tragedy. They're
Right.
terrible.
I turn to the boys and say, boys, I think we need to take this bitch out, and I think we need to steal her ship.
We're definitely gonna kill her. You wish to
But I
join us,
think-
Blackstaff?
Yes, I do think we will join you. And then Sir Oslin goes, it's far worse than that, though. She's with some of the North folk. There are 3 full ships. I think that we're going to need quite as much firepower as we can get. The Griffin cavalry seemed overwhelmed. The Order of the Gauntlet was assisting, hence why it was just me. But if you can all help, please do so.
I call dibs on the biggest ship, Sir Venom says. I'm going to be captain of the biggest ship. I call it now. Dibs.
We'll help.
Okay, let's go to the port. And at this, I actually think we're going to end at 10 p.m. tonight because I don't have this prepared. I thought you guys were going to fight the monsters in that basement potentially, so that was why I wanted the extra time for us.
That makes
So
sense. We usually do fight things.
Yeah, we did a stealth mission without it ending in
Speaking
a
of, why
fight.
did hold on, but like, why did she pay the thing and then be like, you kind of owe me? I'm like, where did that come from?
Oh, she paid the
Why
thing
don't
and
we
said to
just-
you guys that you owe her because she
I know,
used her
why?
money for that.
Yeah, but what? Yeah. Why did she?
To get the information.
Exactly.
Oh. I'm just saying, like, it's like we could have just left them. She wasn't doing us any favors.
But you guys got information that you wouldn't have had otherwise.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just meant it was just like weird. I was just like, what? But yeah.
Yeah, so we'll pick it up here with the city of Waterdeep under siege at its port from Larissa Snowmane and the Sea Dancer and crews of Northmen in a few weeks or like a month or so.